Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event match.
This is classic.
Andre, the
WrestleMania!
Hulkamania is running wild.
The world is listening.
Real Kick Radio.
Harry Saturn, you are alive.
Barely.
Okay, what would you like to say right out there looking into the camera to the people that supported you for all those years about the days that you disappeared and moving forward?
You know what's funny? I didn't know what I would say to anybody, when I seen them, because it's kind of weird. You just disappear, right? But talking to Raven last night, first time I've seen Raven in a million years. Raven said, "I knew you'd be around when you were ready to be around."
Raven is
so
here?
the people, so the people that know me, they're all the ones I care about. The ones that I screwed up, and it happens.
Yeah. Raven, so when he dropped out of sight, what were your thoughts?
Dropped out with him.
You dropped out with him?
Yes, don't you remember?
Well, this part of the interview is going nowhere. So.
Kids at home, don't you drop out. Finish school. Isn't that what we're talking about? No, all right.
Hey, I gotta run up to my room.
Finish school and don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Don't let what happened to this great man and athlete happen to you.
It's amazing. I was a WWE superstar for whatever that means. One day and the next day I'm eating out of trash cans trying to figure out how I'm going to steal money so I can get high.
Yeah.
So,
Harry Saturn, thank you so very much.
So.
Danny Richardson, sorry, I was grooving to this song. Isn't there so much to dance to?
What is going on, Kevin?
Oh, Danny, I'm so glad you asked. So much is going on. I'm wearing a WWF shirt with the logo from 95, 96, 97 because only the true fans that see me in the street will be able to bond over this.
Do you have the wristbands this week?
No wristbands, no ad, because I'm going retro, and that was before that stuff was cool, Danny Richardson.
All right. Well, I think next week you should bring a little more swag. If I have to send you some stuff in the mail, I will.
Danny Richardson, it is the whole fucking show, theWholeFuckingShow.info, fucking show on the whole fucking show on Facebook, fucking show on Twitter, whole fucking show podcast on YouTube. I am Kevin Scampoli, but seriously, if you guys search a little bit, maybe put even Kevin Scampoli in, but write the word Cage with a K, because you'll see that I was once known as Ivan Cage, on the far rim of the internet, just kind of winning the IW title 3 times, beating Anthony Cutler a few times, Stefan Water every now and then. I'm going on and on. Danny, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm Danny Richardson, prime time, and at this moment, I have the exact same win-loss record as Michael Cole.
And did you just steal the Mrs. tagline? Are you really stealing other wrestlers' phrases now?
I don't think he was the first person to come up with "I'm awesome," but if I have to credit him, I will.
Well, you yelled it, so I just kind of thought you were being. You started screaming it, yeah. But get that music out of here, Danny Richardson, because we have a guest this week, a guest that knows nothing of wrestling, and he is, and this could be his ring name, Mike Steele.
I'm Mike Steele, a.k.a. the Master Chief, a.k.a. Simon Belmont, a.k.a. Solid Snake, a.k.a. Naked Snake.
The AKA's brought it down. I like to throw a comma in there. I just keep saying them. A little promo help,
It's one big long name.
And he's from jimandthem.com. Danny Richardson, Mike Steele's here because he enjoys hearing us talk, yet he doesn't know what we're talking about.
I don't know anything that you guys are saying, but I dig it.
It's very interesting to have a non-wrestling fan because now, as we discuss, I'm sure there'll be questions we'll want to ask you. Like, do you know what this is? That's going to be every question. Have you ever heard of this? Have you heard of this? What about a chair? What do you use a chair for? Like questions like that.
I find it really interesting that somebody that doesn't even listen or watch wrestling rather can listen to such a niche show like ours.
I think that's why I like it, because I literally have. It's not like I'm like, oh, I kind of know a little bit. Like, obviously, I know who like Hulk Hogan is. But
there goes my first question.
Undertaker.
Like, I know. I mean, like in middle school, I think I saw him on some kids' shirts. So I know the name, but I couldn't. If you showed me 4 pictures, I maybe I could guess.
Danny Richardson. Let's run down the Mount Rushmore of wrestling and see which name he finally doesn't know. What do you think?
All right, so he did know Hulk Hogan.
Okay, that's one. Throw it another
the other
one.
one would be Ric Flair.
Only because when you moved in here, you had wrestling on, and I saw Ric Flair.
Really?
He has blonde, like slick back hair and leathery, like snake skin.
Is that Ric Flair?
Pretty much true.
All right, yeah, because it's not blonde anymore. It's a very white hair.
Well, yeah, white blonde.
Old
That's what I
man.
meant, like bleach blonde.
All right, he's still in it. All right, who's the next one?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, right?
Oh well, yeah, but he's like a pop culture kind of guy, so I know him.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, again, Fast Five.
Andre the
obviously.
Giant.
Princess Bride.
Okay, see, this is great.
See, I know all these wrestlers, but for the worst reasons.
All right, who's the next one, Danny Richardson?
That was the ones for the Mount Rushmore. And The Rock was a bonus. He wasn't even on
Undertaker. You already said you saw shirts. I want to know where the cutoff is, where people like Mike Steele, because he's super into other niches where maybe wrestling would cross over, like video games.
I know who Shawn Michaels is because of a video game.
Really? Which video
I know
game?
you guys love Shawn Michaels.
He's
It was
the best.
it's super boring ass fucking story.
In your house.
When I first got my PlayStation 1, it came with a demo disc that had 3 games on it. A game that never got released, Hot Shots Golf, and a wrestling game that I don't know the title of.
Must have been in
You
your
can
house.
use 2 characters. One was Sting and one was Shawn Michaels.
You're
And so
bullshitting. Why would they be in the same game?
But I remember because my name's Mike. My little brother's name is Sean. So we're like, this guy's the best. He's our name.
Yeah, but they couldn't have been. Sting
Yeah,
that
we're
was in
calling
the
you
game.
out. Don't come in here and
I
say
swear
bullshit.
this is the PlayStation 1 a long
Still,
time ago.
That's what we're saying. That was a time when WWF was so anti-Sting
it was,
in WCW.
It was Sting and
There's
Shawn Michaels.
No way it was Sting.
No, it could have been Sting.
It was Sting and Mondo
I am
McMichael.
100% sure.
What was the game? I'm finding. It was a demo. I'm gonna Google demo disc.
Mike, I love you,
Sting.
but you're a liar.
No, dude, I remember this. I could call my little brother and find out.
Call him.
Please don't do it.
Get him on
There's
the
no way it
fucking
was
line.
Sting. They've never been in the same company. So
My little brother does a lot of drugs, though. I hope he remembers.
There is absolutely. I'm getting angry. I feel like he's coming in here and trying to expose us. We know Sting would not be in this game, or Shawn Michaels would not be in this game.
yeah, if I believe him with the Shawn Michaels thing because he has something that references that that would obviously stick a little more. But so it had to be a WWF game, which would be like you said, either in your house or WrestleMania, the arcade game.
It was Bret Hart. He thought it was Sting.
What was the style of the game?
Like he's on the phone.
Really, really slow paced. Like slow paced and methodical. It wasn't arcadey at all.
Wow. Then I don't. Now it sounds more like one of the WCW.
I'm
games.
thinking this was WCW versus the World with Sting on the cover, but how was Shawn Michaels?
Okay, how about
in
this?
game?
When I get home, because I keep every single game I've ever owned.
Okay.
I don't trade stuff in. I collect that shit. I will grab the demo disc. I will put that shit in my PlayStation 3. Because it's backwards compatible back to PS1. I got the original 60 gig version. JakeMikeVGS.com. And I will take a fucking screenshot.
All right, I need to see
I will
this.
twit pick that shit for you guys because I want to have a little bit of street cred.
Because, well, first of all,
Sting's the dude with the black and white makeup and
Yeah, it wasn't him.
he lives in the attic or whatever.
Yeah, he wasn't in that game. Or if he was, Shawn Michaels wasn't.
No, there was both of them.
If that happens,
There's just no way, Mike.
Well, again, it was a demo. Maybe it was a demo, a fan service demo.
from Twitter, Jim and Them. Jim from Jim and Them says, Van Saves Lives, who is you, is wrong. There wasn't a game with Sting and Shawn Michaels. Now, how many times
was
can we
quick.
fucking say this? There's no... just get all
I
mad.
swear it was Sting and Shawn Michaels. I'll do my best to try and prove it.
Have you ever watched a full wrestling match?
All the wrestling I've ever watched has been on your couch.
Now, who's your favorite wrestler?
Sin Cara is the best.
Sin Cara is like a superhero.
He's so fucking cool, dude. He's like a fucking superhero.
You ever hear of Ahmed Johnston? All right. There's no. You shouldn't. He's basically. If you've ever had a nightmare, he was in it, but he played a different. He looks very much like that. He's a black man. That's the whole thing.
He was a very large black man that got busted for a child prostitution ring in Florida.
Prove that first of all. You think now you're bringing up weird Sting Shawn Michaels games too, Danny Richardson? That never
You never
happened.
heard that story?
Of course I didn't, because it didn't happen.
Oh, look it up.
Now we're all calling our brother. Let me call my brother.
Question me.
Jim will know. Jim, send a tweet. We're all calling our brother. Danny, get your brother on the line. Now, Danny Richardson, I need to congratulate you because this week you finally returned to Twitter. You find on fucking show on Twitter, and you actually kind of made me smile with your tweets. There weren't some bullshit hack nonsense like I'm used to reading and deleting. So, Danny Richardson, we need to do this.
Yeah, I have to say I'm honored that you liked him, because as anybody that listens to the show or listens to us talk in real life knows, you hate every single thing I do.
Well, because you're the most hateable. Especially, Mike Steele, you listened last week, right?
Yeah.
How hateable was Danny Richardson last week, playing Mr. Angry Guy to my hilarious guy?
I mean, I liked your personas, but Danny's great.
He was the straight man that had to be there.
I'm used to playing the straight man, so I respect the straight man.
Listen to this right here.
And then see, now you already fucked me up.
Listen to Mad Danny Richardson.
And then see, now you already fucked me up.
Really, Danny Richardson?
I don't even know what context that was.
You were telling the worst story. And this is my favorite one. Listen to this.
I feel like we're just gonna get into ridiculous house wrestling stories right now. Like,
now, when do you think you said that? I'm gonna actually give you some context on this one.
I don't know. I remember saying it, but I don't remember like the rest of the conversation around it.
This gave me douche chills to listen to because I'm enjoying my Paul Bear impression. I'll play it in context. Undertaker! It is time for the independent. Hilarious.
I remember this now.
Hilarious so far. Now, the best line of the whole show, of the whole night, any discussion I've ever had. Listen to how funny this is. Well, in the context, it would have been. Undertaker! It is time for the Independence Day action figure president to put you in a sleeper hold.
Yeah, I thought this shit was hilarious, by the way.
And then after that, listen to what fucking Danny Richardson says. Hold.
I feel like we're just going to get into ridiculous house wrestling stories right now. Like,
really, Danny? Why? What are you talking about? Is that your way of like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Let me steer this thing back without sounding so douchey. But then I did.
Well, I think it was a combination of, we had horrible audio problems last week, and you fixed a lot of it. So anybody that podcasts it wouldn't know that, but we had a lot of problems last week.
I was not impressed with your end of the... I actually disliked you for a night. I finally understood why Kristen hated you so much. I'm like, this guy is such a douchey guy.
Wait a minute, your girl hates me too?
Yeah, because you think you won't come to SummerSlam with us because you think we're just going to fuck all over the hotel and have no decency.
Tell me you don't think that's a little weird scenario to be put in. That me, Kevin, who I've never really met in person.
It was No Mercy.
And his girlfriend.
No, Danny. It was No Mercy on the PlayStation 1, and I have a video of Shawn Michaels and Sting both playing each other.
No Mercy was not on PlayStation 1, and also Sting wasn't in it.
Yeah, No Mercy was a Nintendo 64 game.
No, I'm looking at it right now. I'm fucking looking at it.
It does not exist.
Mike, I love you, but you're killing me tonight. It's you can't change reality. It didn't happen.
And there's a game, Punisher, No Mercy, on PlayStation 1, but I'm pretty sure Sting, he might have been in that one. That would have made a little sense.
Okay, maybe it's not called No Mercy. It just says No Mercy in the parentheses. I'll figure this out. Go back to your show, your little show.
All right. So
you keep looking.
This week, Danny Richardson, you kind of, especially after that douchey last week, you finally brought me back with some of your text, and I was very excited about it. You brought up Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson 2.0, greater than sign, Batista Light. Ezekiel versus Mason. Now, these are two guys that Mike Steele absolutely will not ever know. Well, maybe he watches wrestling over here. But even if you watched for a first time, you would never remember these guys. They're so fucking generic. One's a big black guy. One's a big, brownish guy. And they're not entertaining or interesting at all.
Yeah, Ahmed is very forgettable for someone who at one point had he had such potential. Like, they put everything behind that guy.
No, I like those two. I'm talking about Ezekiel and Mason.
Oh. Well, see, and I was going to compare it because then Batista is someone that I was going to say, actually made it. But I think in the long run, Batista's going to go the same route. I think he'll be forgettable too. 10 years down the road. I don't think anybody will remember either of them, on the same level.
Do you think that Ezekiel, Jackson, and Mason, whatever, are going to grow to be as important as those two characters were? Because I look at Ahmed Johnson as a pretty big name. I look at Batista as a huge name. I look at these two as generic, no personality, strong guys that are fucking terrible. So I think it's interesting you took my opinion of them and thought I was talking about Ahmed Johnson and Batista. Do you think they're going to mature to that point?
Well, I don't think that... I don't know. It's one of the same things. Like, they're putting all that effort. Like, right now, they're putting all this effort into Ezekiel and Mason. Was it Mason Ryan?
Yeah, something.
And I think the same thing's going to happen. There's nothing behind them. I think they're going to get pushed the same as Ahmed was. Batista wasn't interesting until the last 3 months of his career.
That's true, but Batista was a world champion, and I can't see these guys getting there. First of all, it's weird that you like Ezekiel better than Mason. Let's make that clear. Since Ezekiel is, well, for one, he's a colored guy. And also, he's the most generic of all colored guys. That time I yelled colored. Listen. He's a colored guy. And he's the most generic of all colored guys. But Mason kind of has a little, like, they made him take Kane's hand off his neck. And that alone I was a little sold on him.
But are you buying it? I mean, he's not even, he looks like half the size of Batista. Like, he's not big enough to have the big man threat. Like, he's the size of, like, Chris Masters before he jumped off the steroids.
Well, there's no reason to get racist. I don't know where you're coming from all of a sudden. But
he's not, he doesn't, Mason Ryan, my problem with is he doesn't have the muscle to be built up as this crazy strong guy that everybody should be afraid of. I don't get why he, of all people, is getting a push that, like, he should be honored with somebody that's, like, getting to go toe-to-toe with Kane.
Well, WWE does that type of thing where, you're supposed to believe Umaga is a fucking, first of all, a heavyweight powerhouse when he's barely weighs anything. Right?
That's different because he's a Pacific Islander, and everybody knows Samoans have weird strength because they're not smart enough to know they're hurt.
It's like a retard type thing.
Yeah, you hit them in the head, and they just keep drooling and coming at you.
Wrestling loves to take advantage of the fantasy world where we're supposed to ignore Samoa Joe's gut, but also believe Umaga's strong. But I kind of like Mason for the sheer factor that he speared the Big Show, and it looked like he actually did it.
Yeah, but if you're gonna give him this super strength gimmick, doesn't he have to have, like? Well, I mean, there has to be more to the character. There has to be something.
I just gave you the worst reason to like a wrestler ever.
All your reasons are horrible.
I watched a fucking pay-per-view the other day where CM Punk lost clean to Big Show, and I immediately said I'll never watch wrestling again.
How old was that?
It was last year. It was just a quick match, a punch in the face, and it's over after like 8 minutes of missed punches in the face.
How things have changed. And so, now, do you like Mason better than Ezekiel?
I definitely do. Just because I'm waiting for, and it finally happened with the core, but I've been waiting for both of these shitty stables to break up because they tease at it. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, Mason's the guy they're picking as the leader, apparently. Of course, now him and CM Punk both get embarrassed last week. I don't know what the fuck's happening. But I've liked Mason Ryan because he's more involved in the more interesting storyline, and somehow that makes his character better. Plus, it might be the white guy thing.
It might be. I'm going to go with it is on your case.
But Ezekiel, too, I mean, I brought up a picture of Mason Ryan. I want to take back everything I said just because he doesn't have a beard in it. If with some facial hair, this guy's got potential. Like I said, I'm a big fan of guys who grow hair and shave hair. Anytime that happens, I'm on board with you for at least 3 months. Let's see what you can do. But Ezekiel is such garbage. I've seen the guy before. And for one, I think he's like twice the size of Ahmed Johnson, isn't he? Like, he's supposed to have a more impressive look, but there's nothing behind it.
Yeah, he's definitely got the build, and we've talked about it before. I'm kind of a sucker for guys that have weird builds or something unique. And not that Ezekiel's unique. I mean, it's just a muscle guy, but there's nobody really built like him in the WWE right now.
Well,
so, I like Brodus Clay, and I mean, there's no reason just other than he's built differently. I think it makes things more interesting when a guy looks different than everybody else. I hate Dolph Ziggler now because he looks like everybody else.
I've had enough of this Dolph Ziggler that wants to look like John Morrison if he cut his hair. Now, I lied about liking people who cut things, especially when they cut awesome things. Dolph Ziggler had a great look. He had that whole pose he did when he came out. It was awesome. And now all of a sudden he's turned into this fucking generic, if you look at me from the right angle, you'll think I can do a Starship Pain, but I don't have that type of ability thing.
Yeah, if they would have just brought him in on the next season of NXT, I wouldn't have told you that was Dolph Ziggler, and I still wouldn't have tuned in. Like, I wouldn't have cared. Yeah, there's nothing interesting about him anymore.
Yeah, he worked perfect as one of 8 of the same guys in the Spirit Squad. They somehow made a miracle happen by making me like a Solo that guy, and then they fucking ruined it. They put him with the worst. And not like we always say, she's not bad in a good way. We don't boo her because it's like, oh, this is heat. It's because she just stinks. And Eddie Guerrero said it himself in a classic botch. Fuck her. Fuck her is right. Fuck that bitch. Sorry, I'm mad.
How long do you think they're going to keep the Vicky Guerrero experiment going on? Like, this clearly started as, sorry, your husband died and we all ignored his drug problems. I feel like we're just gonna get have a job on screen and we'll pay you so you can support your kids. And I mean, how long has it been now? Are we looking like 6-8 years? I feel like we're just gonna get into ridiculous house wrestling stories right now. Like,
pick a topic and stick with it. What am I? Where am I
brought
running?
up Vicky.
You bring that up. It seems like every week we have a great conversation, then you randomly say this.
I feel like we're just gonna get into ridiculous house wrestling stories right now. Like,
this time you just said it after a whole paragraph of your own bullshit. So where are you taking us, Mr. Know-It-All?
I followed your conversation. You brought up Vicky. I thought we could discuss Vicky.
Vicky's the worst. It's definitely sympathy, and I ran out of sympathy as soon. I don't know. I never liked her. Is there any cool way to say that? I never liked her, and it's because she's a woman. I only like guys that are more white than not. If you're a girl, never mind. Forget it.
It's because she's overweight.
How about that? Speaking of this, she is. And actually, I thought there was like nude pictures of her or something online.
Wasn't I talking to you when you thought you found those?
I was psyched. I was ready to start jerking off with you on mic because I would totally rub 3 out to Vicky Guerrero. And I like this, like, I could approach that ugly person thing. I like a weird, like, if I'm sure Mike still knows I'm trying to get any support I can get. When you watch these, amateur porn videos, don't you kind of gear towards the uglier, no makeup, blonde haired,
she
too
needs
young?
to seem like someone who's very real. Like, you're like, yeah, this girl really wanted this guy to like her.
Or like, I shouldn't even be seeing this. Why would she want me to? And then I'm just, I'm everywhere. I just fucking explode on the fucking screen. Take that, you fucking nothing. What the hell was that moment? Sorry.
I'm gonna leave you hanging on this one.
Basically, Vicky Guerrero, they need to put out a pocket pussy of hers, and then a mouth and an asshole. And I'll buy all 3 of them, build the set, I'll put them on the wall, draw around them, and that'll be my Vicky, the stick figure with a working asshole, pussy, and mouth, and I'll fuck the shit out of my wall.
I don't even know. I'm just gonna leave you hanging out on that one. You're solo there.
Lucky me then. Leave me hanging with that, and I'll have a long pause, my friend. It'll be very uncomfortable in here. I did just get a new pocket. Have you ever bought a fake vagina?
Are you talking to me or Mike Steele?
Anyone, mainly you. I think Mike has, but probably not. How about you, Danny Richardson?
No, I haven't.
Mike?
I'd tell you if I had. I haven't.
I've only used that one that we got on Jim.
I thought I came in to use that a few days after, like, I used it on the show, and I thought you took it. I was like looking everywhere, like, where the fuck is the pussy? I was gonna fuck that pussy for fun, and then it's like in the box behind you. It's there the whole time. I hated you secretly for a while, and you didn't even take it. So I ordered a new fake vagina with my girlfriend standing next to me. We were both like, hey, that site, Adam and Eve, has, you get 3 free DVDs, half off, free shipping. We're like dancing over there all excited. Then I just buy some dick sucker, this fucking fake dick sucker. And she was sitting there as I checked out, added it to cart, checked out, paid. Just sat there.
Have you already received it?
Yeah, and I fucked that thing 3 times. Vicky style, bitch.
Was that better than the dragon vagina?
It was so much better. This thing has, like, when you put your dick in there,
dude, you have to let me try this.
It's great. Now I didn't watch the. Come on, it's great because when you put your dick in there and you make it go up and down, there's like an outside which you're holding, but then an inside which you'll pull on your bulbous cock head, and it's. I did come inside of it and whatever. So Vicky, she is ugly.
What a transition. I like that you got mad at me for transitioning to talk about Vicky Guerrero and you went off on a pocket pussy rant.
What I heard was tranny, and that is exactly what we were talking about. This woman is disgustingly fat. But on to the next. I don't know why you guys bring me off on these tangents. You can definitely borrow. First of all, before we move on, how do you clean those? This one doesn't have a hole on the back.
Oh, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
I just let it drip out on my thigh. It was like, all right, back in the drawer.
Yeah, use a toothbrush. I'd like a toothbrush you're not using anymore or something.
I'm going to fuck you with a toothbrush?
No. Clean it out with the toothbrush.
That doesn't sound fun.
I get very confused with that vagina. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I don't even...
Danny's right. Maybe dishwasher.
That's risky. I don't want to break the sweet... What pussy did I get? It's the... Sasha Grey? You look
at me like, Mike?
Is it a mold? Like, is it supposed to be a real person?
It's Sasha Grey's hot pink pussy lips.
You guys should talk about wrestling.
Hey, Mike, what a good idea.
I'm sorry. That's so funny to me. It's a hot pink pussy. Hot pink pussy lips. Oh, God, who says that? All right.
It's usually at the end of the show where things fall apart.
I call it a dick sucker.
Things have just fallen apart right at the beginning, so people know what they're getting into.
I'm gonna write her a letter. It's just a picture of me fucking her pussy. I'm gonna go, you ain't that great, are you? I think you ain't gonna get none of this, you fucking cunt. And that's going to Vicky Guerrero. Now, Danny Richardson, here's another tweet that I sent out. God, Twitter rundown, such a hack bit. I'm over here making fun of your fucking game shows you want to do, and I'm doing a Twitter rundown like I'm fucking George Lopez's 3 years too late Mexican ass. Sin Cara looking, put a mask on, fucking you're not funny ass. Oh my God, Mike. All right, back to this. So I said it's about time Karma attacks a black diva. Kevin.
Oh. Is that your Vince's white guilt thing?
Yeah, I had a theory due to the fact that she's never attacked a black diva that Vince had white guilt, and this theory was a complete joke for 2 tweets. Now, what do you think of Karma so far?
I'm okay with it. If I'd never seen her in TNA, I think I'd be way more into it. But I've already seen her. I already know what she's all about, so it doesn't feel like anything new to me. And then she worked in TNA because they had other women wrestlers that were believable to fight with her. How far can you run this? Like, who's ever gonna beat her? Like, who's gonna be? And then when somebody beats her, then what?
No, I love this, and that's because I had no idea that she was ever in TNA. Who was she? Did she do the same thing in TNA? Did she just assault divas? What was happening with her?
God, it always amazes me the stuff you do know and then the stuff you don't know. It's like she was in TNA like 3 months ago.
Wait, was her name Amazing Kong? Because I thought that was
Awesome Kong. Yeah, it's the same giant black lady.
She's black. That's funny. And I'm a racist.
She was black in TNA too.
So wait, what was her bit? Did she do the silly laugh? Was it all very similar?
No, but it wasn't the like I'm gonna go around and just destroy other women. But I mean, she was just a big badass, and she even had a couple like hardcore matches with some people. But I mean, they just kept her around. She was their knockouts champion off and on. But she just destroyed anybody that was smaller than her.
Interesting. Now, this in no way cheapens it for me. Maybe if I started watching clips, or if I cared anything about TNA archives and had this, then it might affect my opinion of her now. But I think, although this all seems overdone, I feel like divas have done this before. They always bring in the freak show diva to like make it, not make it interesting because they think it's interesting all the time, apparently, with the shit they just put on there. Nothing worse than diva wrestling. But now I'll actually sit through the match because I won't know, even though she always comes out at the end now, but I won't know. Maybe she'll come out earlier. I'll sit through every diva match knowing that Karma is going to come out. It's obvious. But when? And I would never watch a diva match before, so they roped me in somehow. Who was the fat diva with the face paint or whatever that went up against Alundra Blaze?
Bull Nakano.
Thank you for knowing that.
I love when you ask me the questions that I shouldn't know, and I do. I used to remember because Randy Savage would always like mispronounce her name, and he would just say like Bull Nakano, like he could never get it right.
Holy shit! That is great. Now, yeah, that was back, I would say the last time I liked a diva match was then, because I was young, didn't know better, and they actually put a little more wrestling effort into it. That even the sexy stuff isn't bad, like Sable, Sunny, Trish Stratus, of course, but when they're these generic fucking, I look like this person, or I want to look like the old diva, they have no personality, no originality, and there's no reason to care about them. Plus,
when they do the sexy stuff, like they're not lying. Like they're very upfront about like this is what you're getting. Like they wrestle in they come out in their bikini competitions, their mud wrestling matches. Like it fit into that era. It was very obvious what you were getting and why you were getting it. And now they're still hiring women based on their looks, and then trying to convince you that they're good wrestlers as well.
And they always seem to like stop trying to springboard off ropes because your one leg's gonna miss, and stop screaming in the match. And also the one thing I don't like about Karma is the finishing move, where all the effort of her move is on the person she's giving it to. Like, all right, she's really struggling to keep her legs up. That's all I can think. I'm not thinking, holy shit, Karma's destroying this woman. It's like, can she keep her balance without Karma's help at all? She needs, like Sin Cara. These two characters, the finishing move is even more crucial with them because Karma needs to bulldoze. Sin Cara needs to impress. And I don't think either of them have a move that represents their character very well. But I'm very big on finishers, so that's my.
What would you give her as a finisher? Like, what's a good women's finisher?
DDT 6 from SmackDown versus Raw. No, even a power bomb, because the power bomb for a woman has always meant so much more, and that's just because of how rare it is. It's almost called it gold, but we all know title belts are gold. With Sin Cara, I have no idea. I've seen clips of his. He's the big superstar. Let him figure it out. I see clips of him overseas doing some insane I spin around their head a bunch of times move that makes no sense to me because it just ends in an armbar. So I don't know, something. Dig into your creative archives and impress me a little bit.
Yeah, but no, my problem with it, I like it the same way you do. Like, I'll watch the women's matches where before it was completely fast forward. I never gave a shit about the women matches. I don't, the storylines are never good for them. The matches are never good. So there's no point. Right. So, but now that she's going to come out and just destroy people, I'll watch it. But where does this go? Like, I don't know. My problem with it is, like, I'm constantly in the back of my head. I'm eaten up by, like, I don't understand how this storyline ends. Like, and I don't know that once she loses or somebody figures out how to beat her, how do you keep her? I feel the same way when they bring in, male wrestlers and they come in and they just destroy everybody. Then it always happens. Once they get beat, then they lose everything. Like, they don't have that edge. They're not as interesting.
Well, the ending on this is so obvious. They're going to have a hero woman that's going to beat her. But who? Who the fuck could play your hero besides Trish Stratus? They're going to have to bring her back. I was even buying Mickie James. That's probably the last diva that seemed like she had her own character happening, and that I was like, oh, that name carries weight. No diva's name carries weight. So, and of course she's not coming back, but Trish Stratus comes back. This is my prediction. I'm being the booker, one of Danny Richardson's fabulous games. First of all, my first booking, all white card every Raw, all black card every SmackDown. And then we'll see if Booker's commentary finally makes sense. Wow, did I wrap that together into a funny joke somehow? How did I do that? But also, I think Trish has to come back, or they could use her to really put over Kelly. I think Kelly, for one, is a hot bitch.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna agree with you on that.
She's the best diva right now that's active, and maybe they can. But hasn't she already been attacked, or was she the one that got away?
I picture both. I think she already got attacked.
Because who was the one that sat in the corner? Then she didn't get attacked. I think that was Kelly because she had the stupidest look on her, and that would be great if it ended with her like, I faced her. I'm the only one to walk away, even though a few already have. But this is me being the booker. All these white girls talking.
Is Shawn Michaels' nickname HBK?
Yes, Heartbreak Kid.
I'm
Okay.
dying to hear this.
WWF Warzone on the PlayStation 1.
Great game. Had Stone Cold on the cover.
It has HBK and Sting in it.
Sting is not in Warzone.
I'm looking at a character list right now.
I'm looking at it.
There's a creator wrestler feature in that game.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be on the demo. What is this guy talking about? Comes in. It could have been Kane. Was it Kane?
It says Sting. It even has his move list and everything. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, for a creator wrestler. I'm looking at it right now. There's no Sting on this message board. Are you on Wikipedia?
No, I'm on GameFAQs.
Oh shit, he's probably one of these great sites, but
I feel like we need to pause the show so we can all Google it.
Yeah, I'm looking at a move list for WWF Warzone.
Well, that was for me, and looking back, I don't know why. Remember this game, Danny? Was this game as influential in your life as it was for mine as a young wrestling fan? This was like finally an awesome game, but it really wasn't. It was like the worst.
It says he's an unlockable character, if that means anything.
I'm gonna fucking figure this out. Unlockable.
It says him and Goldberg.
Shut up.
And big sexy
There's
Kevin
no
Nash.
way any of those guys were in Warzone.
Are all unlockable.
Goldberg wasn't even around.
Yeah, Goldberg wasn't even around at that time.
I don't know. It's just what I'm reading. I'm just trying to. I don't know enough about this to know if it sounds stupid. I'm just trying to prove myself.
Are you sure it doesn't say Gold Dust?
It says Goldberg. Oh wait, no. It says Gilberg.
Gilbert Pones.
My bad. I read that wrong. It says Gilberg.
Now, did Sting say Diesel?
Gilbert wouldn't have been around then.
It says Sting, Gilberg, and big sexy Kevin Nash are unlockable.
Is Sting supposed to say Undertaker? You're misreading anything else.
Maybe I don't know. I remember those two in a game together.
But you know what? Back then, there was a lot of that with wrestling games where people would claim stuff was hidden in the games because it was before.
But I don't know enough about wrestling to ever, like, maybe if I was a huge wrestling guy, I was like, yeah, no, seriously, guys, he was in there. But I don't know enough about this shit to make that up.
No, I'm not saying.
And I don't know. Well, no,
you're reading.
I mean, like, I don't remember. Well, yeah, well, forget I'm reading this. I just thought maybe I was right if I found that. But I don't know enough of these wrestlers to even mistake it. Sting is, like, I remember Shawn Michaels because of the name. I don't remember what he looked like.
Jim
But I remember Sting because I remember what he looked like.
He's looking at Create a Wrestler. Now, that's the second Create a Wrestler related text I've gotten in my life, and I hated both of them.
Maybe again, I'm just trying to find some type of proof online.
Oh, no, there's no proof because it definitely wasn't the case. But when you go home and play that demo, I need you to let us know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the demo was.
Because we had that game. Me and Jim played it to death. We thought it was awesome. And again, like, I actually need to play audio from this game because the wrestlers would talk. And it, like, Ken Shamrock would go, oh, I'm crazy, or something like that. He just kind of yell, I'm getting mad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't trust the internet. I just thought maybe whatever I played would show up somewhere.
And if that is real, I will fucking... What would you do, Danny Richardson? Would you just rethink a lot of things in life? Because we're so sure. What if somehow that's real?
It's one of those things. There's just no way I'm wrong about this.
All right, let me play this.
Welcome to the war zone. This capacity crowd is on their feet. Hello, everyone. I'm Vince McMahon. I'm Jim Ross. This one's going to be...
Wait, Vince was still doing commentary when this game came out?
Yeah, this is like...
This isn't 97? The game. This isn't the game I played, though.
By the way, it's clear. We must say that because Goldberg wasn't around, neither was Gilbert, because Gilbert existed to trash Goldberg.
A good old-fashioned barn burner. Steve Austin is one of the most dangerous.
Well, yeah, I can tell this isn't the game I played. I remember the game I played.
This is. I am very interested in this
because I had no money for video games, so I had that one demo disc for fucking ever. So it's not even just like it was just like, oh yeah, I played this one game once, I think. Like I remember that game because I had the only demo disc I had for a long time.
Can we put the show on hold while Mike goes home, gets his PlayStation?
Well, no, you guys can finish. I thought maybe I found it online. I wasn't. I don't know enough about these wrestling games to know if but you guys obviously do. So I trust you guys.
This is the greatest cliffhanger we've ever had. So
no, absolutely, because you're so sure of it, and I agree with you. Like, there's no reason you would make this up. Like,
well, yeah. I don't even
wouldn't know wrestlers to make up.
I don't know them well enough to make them up. I remember Sting has the black and white like Kiss looking makeup. Is there anyone else that looks like him?
Kane, Mankind.
No, Mankind had the leather mask on, right?
Yeah. There's really
I know him because he was on Boy Meets World.
I gotta hear this Ken Shamrock clips from Warzone.
I'm the most dangerous man in the Federation. If you think you're gonna beat me, you're sadly mistaken. Not only am I gonna make you submit,
they better have in-ring clips too. Here it is. Here we go.
Okay, you beat me once. I never lose twice.
I really don't. Wait, there's more?
I face some of the toughest men in the world.
All right, I don't need to hear all your promos.
What was that from? Is that for like the story mode in the game?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Apparently they didn't have a microphone on hand. He's just kind of yelling in an echoey hallway. It's really not worth the time, but I need to hear an in-game Ken Shamrock. Oh, get out of my way! He just yells at people. We'll figure that out someday. But Danny Richardson, how about this? Fucking Rey Mysterio. You know this guy?
I do.
He tweets some spick bullshit on Twitter, so I said, what the he says, Feliz do Mayo, blah, blah, something about me. And I said, what the fuck did you just say about me, you little fuck?
I want to take this time, and I want to bring up something. I created a monster with you.
Yes, you did.
Because beforehand, I remember talking to you about... I don't remember how it came. We discussed, me if I could say stuff to certain wrestlers online, something like that, and you were like, I think you didn't want me to like talk to other wrestlers just yet because we were still adding them and the show was still getting going. I smart off to Goldberg one time, and you were on a mission to get us blocked from every single wrestler on the internet.
I've gotten us some retweets in this process. Now, what it was is you wanted to start adding them or something, and I'm like. Twitter's all about how many you're following versus how many followers you have, which, by the way, our follower count will never be impressive nowadays. If you made a Twitter this week, it's never going to work unless you're you're a guy named, let me throw one out there, Howard Stern. He had a big Twitter. Huh? How about that? He was a pretty cool guy. So That's how it works. But anyways, if you make a Twitter this week, it is not going to happen for you. And we did, basically. Last month, 2 months, whatever. So you're like, should I add wrestlers? I go, probably not. I want to at least look a little respectable. Like, we hate, we like less people than like us. Like, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, but you do that Goldberg thing, and I start adding every wrestler, and then atting them with the at symbol. And I fucking poning them. I'm getting retweets.
I'm looking at, and just in one block, these are all back to back. You addressed Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Jarrett, took a break to knock, I don't know, Doink the Clown, but then come back and you address Christian.
What's the best one so far?
Out of all those, I'll tell you what, I like the Christian one. I don't know if you want to read it.
Yeah, actually, all right, Christian. Let me know if this is it.
This is the one I'm looking at. Isn't the one I thought? I want to find the one.
Well, this one I said watching SmackDown ecstatic because fucking Chris Jericho tweets that he's going to lose. Christian's losing the title. Very annoying. So I pwned him, which I didn't copy paste. Call him a dummy. So, anyways, then I go at Christian. I go watching SmackDown ecstatic that Christian for peeps whatever is going to lose the title. Please don't let it be to Mark Henry though, because I hate Mark Henry. Perhaps more than I do Christian. I've been very vocal about how Christian is not a champion. He does not deserve this title. And I'm so happy he doesn't have it anymore, and there's no way he's getting it back.
Yeah, and I like the other one you wrote. It would be after you won, where you retweeted Christian because he says, what a beautiful afternoon. And you said, I hope everyone is celebrating Edge's friend isn't champion day.
Thank you. Edge's friend. Nice gimmick. Holy shit. He wrestles for 40 years, and all everyone knows him as is Edge's best friend now. Get a fucking identity, you diva.
And what's weird about that is that tweet, I hadn't watched SmackDown yet. That should have ruined it for me, but even reading that, like at the time I read it, I was like, I don't really get what he's going at. And it didn't dawn on me that Christian loses the belt because I didn't think they would do that to him.
Jericho ruined it for me.
I watched SmackDown and I was still in shock when it happened. I was like, no way. And then I remembered everything. I was like, oh, now everything makes sense.
Do you think there's any way he's getting that back? What do you think?
Why do you think they pull it from him so fast? Like, why give it to him if you're just going to take it away like that?
I didn't get it till I watched Raw and they had the big Randy Orton as champion again promo and it made me want to watch. So I think Raw fans, because Orton was it, besides Cena, of course. Well, maybe it for adults. And the fact that he's now the champion on SmackDown, that'll get people to check out that other show, the blue one. And also my Be the Booker white guy booking. Oh, no, that's for Raw. But yeah, I think that's huge for them. Plus, in the long term for Christian, if I can be the booker again, he only wrestles black guys and loses. No, he's going to at some point be the guy who I had it for a second and lost it. I need to get it back. Maybe he'll lose a couple shots at it. And they're going to build. It's a great way to build his character to have him almost get the belt luckily, lose it immediately. And now it's his quest to retrieve it.
Now, something that I didn't hear you mention, but seemed obvious to me
black guys.
Is I was from the video package. I'm positive that he's turning heel now. Did you not get that feel from that?
No, I just got the sad kid feeling. Oh, I blew it.
See, I feel like it's going to be him turning heel and trying to chase Randy Orton for a little bit. But, I mean, there's no way they're going to hotshot it right back to him.
Oh, I'm Danny Richardson. I lost the belt.
I never had the belt.
I'm Kevin's friend. That's what everyone knows. That's my gimmick. I'm Kevin's friend. Fucking fag. No, that part was unnecessary.
If you retire, then I've got no personality. I feel like we're just going to get into ridiculous house wrestling stories right now.
Let's hear them. Let's hear some of your fucking ladder matches where you won the belt and then lost it the next night. I'm too mean to you, Danny Richardson. I apologize.
That's what I try to tell you. We didn't talk all week. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
See? There's another
I was kind of mad at you over shit like this.
I feel like we're just going to get into ridiculous house wrestling stories right now. I don't feel like that's a reason to be mad at me.
Why would you say that to me?
I was just trying to carry on the conversation as best as I could.
Did you feel
you
that
made
way?
a Paul Bearer reference, and I was trying to go into because I really couldn't hear half of what you were saying. I was only getting bits and pieces.
So Mike Steele in the chat, we might have the answer. The game was what game was it?
It's In Your House.
In Your House, Ultimate Warrior and Shawn Michaels.
I know what Ultimate Warrior looks like. Here's
Describe
the
him.
He has the arm tassels, flowing blonde hair, lots of orange and yellow.
Oh shit, you're good. Yeah, okay.
Mike knows his Ultimate Warrior,
Holy
and I love
shit.
you for that, Mike.
That's a big deal. Yeah,
some Ultimate Warrior.
So you really are convinced this was Sting?
Well, and remember when Hogan became the other Hogan? Hollywood Hogan, was that it?
Yeah, that's a good name for him. I'm gonna go with other.
I want to say it might have had something to do with maybe NWO because the fake fight it makes you always do. Whoever's first player is all like, "Oh, you can't talk to Hogan that way," and that's just how the fight starts.
Shawn Michaels is. How could Shawn Michaels be in this game?
It's just a demo. It's just a set fight where like the beginning of the fight always starts. You can't talk to Hogan that way or something like. Because it's fake like bad voice acting like. Player 1 is defending Hollywood Hogan, and player 2 was the one that was like dissing him, and so player 1 and player 2 have to fight each other. That's how they set up the fight in the demo.
Danny Richardson.
Any chance? That
and I want to say NWO sounds familiar.
I need to know if. Oh no! Wait a minute. Day of Reckoning? No. I need to know if a WCW character had the name Shawn and looked like Shawn Michaels, because now that's the one he has wrong. Now there's NWO, Hulk Hogan, Sting.
I know. I seem to remember Hollywood Hogan,
Sean Stasiak,
but not. I mean, I remember that. I'm just trying to remember details around this. I remember. I mean, Sting's makeup. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty unmistakable.
Yeah, I think you're hitting it. You have Hollywood Hogan,
and I remember.
NWO,
I don't remember what Shawn Michaels looked like. I want to say he was pretty nondescript. Just kind of like a white dude with long hair.
It must
But
have
I remember
been.
the name purely because my brother's name is Shawn, my name is Michael, and we were like, oh, cool, there's a wrestler named Shawn Michaels.
There must have been another Shawn with the last name that rhymed with Michael.
And Shawn Michael doesn't spell his name S-E-A-N, right?
S-H-A-W-N.
Yeah, because I remember thinking, oh, it's the only reason it's not perfect.
This
Because
game
he doesn't
is...
spell it the same way.
You're faking it.
I'll try and find it. I guarantee, because I hate that I'm bothering you guys, because I thought it was just a thing. I was just saying it in passing.
You're making me sweat think about this.
You're bothering me in a good way. Like, you're tearing a hole in the space-time continuum of my wrestling knowledge. Like, everything I know to be true, I'm doubting now.
Yeah.
So there's no world where, like, there's some crossover where they... So maybe explain this to me. Why can't they fight? And now I'm curious. Why could they have never fought?
Because this was the biggest battle in the history of life. Like, what would like Canes versus In-N-Out? No one in an In-N-Out uniform is gonna go make some Canes things. Like, this was the Monday Night Wars. WCW wanted WWE out of business.
So they were both like super popular, so that's why.
Oh, they were huge.
But they were never in. They were never in the same league or whatever.
They were two separate companies, and then so each company would have the copyrights. There's no way one company could make a game.
Direct rivals.
Yeah, like
well, didn't
it'd be
old
like
wrestling
if DC came out with a game and the demo had Superman fighting.
My example was
the
better.
Hulk.
Well, I know old wrestling games when they couldn't get the licenses, they just make guys that looked like them,
Never
right?
happened.
Because I know they did that with Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah, no, that's true. And there was.
Is there a chance that maybe they did that?
Well, Mike,
I'm trying to figure something
with
out.
Japanese wrestlers, they all kind of look the same.
It's possible that you had Fire Pro Wrestling.
That game phones. Never played it, but I hear it's good. Now, the reason why it's such a big deal if this happened was because 2001 was a huge deal when this buyout happened. And again, me and Jim were ecstatic. Wrestling's going to get better. It immediately became terrible because they all became one thing. The competition went away. We all know the story.
Yeah.
It's still happening today. But
were they ever anywhere where maybe this game didn't come out because something fell through? Were they ever at any point in time in the real wrestling world in a position where maybe they could have fought, and so maybe this game was being developed enough? Because demos came out way early back in the day. This is PS1 era.
The reason it's so far impossible, too, is because Shawn Michaels is known as the guy who never went to WCW, and Sting is known as the guy who never went to WWE.
Oh, weird.
Like, these are the guys.
But there was never a crossover game where one of those federations fought the other one?
I have to say no. I can't imagine this existing.
No.
I want to borrow it. That's
the only way
thing.
there would be, like he said, is there was a lot of Japanese wrestling games that come out, and what they would do is they would make, exact replicas and duplicates of real wrestlers, and then just give them different names, and sometimes the names would be similar to their names,
just spelled
and
differently,
then
or
other
something.
times they're not. Where did you get the demo from? Where did you say? It came with something?
I don't think it came with my PlayStation 1. It came with a Tips and Tricks magazine.
See, I was thinking, I don't know. It's hard to say because a lot of times also the thing with the Japanese games is they would come, the roster would still be in Japanese, and you would have to go and edit the names and they would make everything was editable in their games.
Well, I know that wasn't because you could see the whole roster. It was just only the two you could choose.
If I hear one more fucking chink gook reference go through one ear to the other ear and then a response to it that isn't violent.
Is this your new character this week?
I am sick of this fucking Jap fucking bullshit nonsense spick.
I hate that I remember those two together.
Well, Mike, look up if you get a chance.
I hate that I remember these guys together because it must be me forgetting.
Jim from Jim and
Okay,
them.
finally. The most annoying part about this is because it's every excuse except you being wrong. Yeah. But now you finally said it, so that's fine. That's the only reason why it's infuriating, because you're like, well, maybe they did this.
Well, I'm trying to talk it out because I don't know why. Like, I don't know enough wrestlers to accidentally remember someone. I only know so many people.
Well, there you go. You don't know them so much, so that's why you're probably wrong.
This is a battle of childhoods, though. Like, either his changes drastically or ours
Well,
does.
that's why I'm asking if maybe someone looked like Sting that I could have easily mistaken for Sting.
Like, Ultimate Warrior.
Because all I know about Sting is he has black and white face makeup on.
See, and here's the thing. Ultimate Warrior had a big feud with NWO perhaps around that time. So it would make sense if it was... Wait, Warrior... Yeah, it would make sense if it was Warrior.
Papa Shango.
Papa Shango, yeah, classic.
But Warrior doesn't wear a lot of clothes, right? Because this guy had a duster on.
Oh, the Sting guy. Okay. All right. I was like, that's weird.
Papa Shango wore a coat.
Mike, look up...
Maybe it's who's Papa Shando. Maybe it's Papa Shando.
But this is definitely a WC dub game because there's NWO, Hollywood Hogan. There's so many details there. And then there's just, I think it was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
but if anything,
you said
I feel
there's NWO in it, then there wasn't Shawn Michaels.
I feel like I remember the Shawn Michaels more than the Sting, though, just because of the name.
But you just said that there was this whole part where it's like you can't talk to Hogan.
Yeah. I remember.
Then Shawn Michaels was definitely
and it was
not.
Hollywood Hogan.
Then it definitely was not Shawn Michaels on it.
Is there anyone with Shawn or Michael in their name?
There's Randy. There's a McMichael. He has long black hair. He's a football
There's
player.
Lex Luger.
Now I hate that I don't know what I remember. Like now I don't even. Like, now I just want to go home and find out what this is so I can find out what the fuck that I'm obviously mistaking something. I trust you guys. I'm not trying to say I'm right. I definitely trust you guys. But I know what I remember.
You're kind of like, I'm right. You're kind of like, I'm right.
No, I think you guys are right. I know what I remember, and that's what confuses me. Because apparently, there's no way this could have happened.
This is such a big deal.
Apparently, there's no way this could have happened, but I know what I remember, and so I don't know how. I don't know.
I feel like I know the game that he's talking about. I'm thinking it's the WCW versus the World, the one that was on PlayStation.
But either way, you're talking about the two guys that never went to the same federation.
Exactly,
That's why it's infuriating.
I think I know the game, but I have no idea how to explain the two wrestlers being in the game.
Everyone else has gone back and forth. These two guys never.
Wasn't it weird that I happen to remember these two fucking guys?
That weird.
This paradox is what I had to remember. I couldn't have remembered someone else.
See, and I would love to hear when you first said it because it was like a subtle, this definitely happened, and we almost let it go. And then finally we both went, wait, there's no way Sting it's shot. Now it's this huge thing where we need the game.
I need to find out who the fuck these guys were.
And if it's WCW versus the World, that's huge too, just because that's a game I've only really heard about. That's like the original Aki game.
I hope this...
Was it for N64 or for PlayStation?
I know it was for PlayStation 1.
So it has to be WCW versus the World. That's like the only Aki game of that time.
Or didn't they have WCW Nitro?
Oh, but that was that game sucks.
Yeah, that was horrible. And he said it was a slow gameplay, and that's
super slow.
That's what the Aki ones were.
It was really slow paced, and I remember hating it because how slow it was.
Well, they're all kind of slow if you play them now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, on PlayStation, I'm looking at like WF had the SmackDown games, In Your House.
I'm really sorry, guys. I feel terrible now.
We might have to give this a week. We might have to just wait for the answer because no matter what we say, it's not going to click. I don't think because we've.
Now it seems fairly clear that I'm wrong. So now I just want to know who the fuck looks enough like Sting for me to remember.
It was
Sting.
probably Sean Waltman.
Who could
it probably was Sean Waltman versus NWO.
Maybe I knew Shawn Michaels. Maybe that's
why can't your brother just answer the phone? Because you shared this memory. Somehow he had both of your names, and there's no steals, so it's not like another last name thing. Somehow a Shawn Michaels made its way into your demo. This is ridiculous. And a lie.
I need to find out what this is.
Danny Richardson, did you have any more tweets you wanted to throw out before one more?
No, I really wanted to go into the Christian one. I really like that because I thought it should have given away SmackDown, but it didn't.
All right, let me read this one because this will bring us into your silly thing. I think Michael Cole will have to be a part of a brand new game on the whole fucking show. Kevin secretly loves these games. Now, you've been 2 for 2 on your hacky bits. Now, because here's the thing. When you came to me with these ideas, I was getting shit like, fact or fiction. And I was like, oh, God. Or like this or that, true or false. It was all the same thing. Now you're like, be the booker. You're like, Undertaker or Undertaker.
Which is fact or fiction.
Yeah, but still, it's a wrestling thing. You're making it, you're giving it a twist that I'm liking. So is this a brand new fun game for us, Danny Richardson?
I don't know. I actually had no idea what I was going to come up with.
Oh,
which means it's going to be really good. I don't have a name for it, so you can come up with a name. I know it's your favorite part. But the best thing I got is it's some kind of psychic game, right? It's a twist.
Oh, jeez. Be the booker. Fact or fiction.
It is similar to Be the Booker, but Be the Booker was we explained how we would do things and like how we would get it, not how we think they'll do it, but how we would make things make sense.
Right.
The psychic game is going to be a 2-parter where you're going to make it. I'm going to give you somebody. I'm going to give you a time span, and you're going to predict where you think they'll be. And then in that time span, it'll be something short. We're going to go back. If we're still doing this show by next week, we'll go back in 3 months or whatever and look it up and see like how right or wrong your predictions were.
Oh my God, this game sucks.
You're going to love it.
Same
You're
game.
Gonna love it's not even close to the same game.
Now,
it's a little close.
Can I speak on Christian being Edge's friend?
Yeah.
Because Kane was just Undertaker's brother when he first won the belt.
But he had his own character.
And he lost his the next night, too.
He had a backstory.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Christian was a fucking generic skinny guy.
Well, you're completely right, though. His thing was like, I got a text from Edge. And he was like, what's up?
Yeah, he's still living off of that. That's the problem.
I still talk to him.
All right, from Danny Richardson, we have a video of WCW versus the World, PlayStation 1, and maybe you can let us know if this was the game.
Okay.
One of the first characters it brings up is Sting. You might want to skip to about 133 in the video because it goes through the loading screen.
Get out of my way!
I'm just going to play it for him. Maybe something. Yeah, get out of my way.
I'll know it if I see it. I remember, like I said, I played the shit out of this stupid fucking demo.
I doubt you sat through the beginning video, though. Want me to just skip through a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it really goes through. There's the start button. Anything? So,
Yeah, I told you.
this is the shit he might remember. Loading, checking memory card.
Man, the PS1 sucked.
Yeah, with Here we go. Would the demo even have all this?
Look at the first person.
No, this isn't how the character screen showed like a little 3D version of them spinning in the background.
Oh, shit. Was it Mortal Kombat? I'm beginning to think.
Yeah, I think it was.
Skip farther. Show them the gameplay. Did it look anything like the gameplay?
Yeah, because I mean, the shit like that does change in the demos back in the day. Nah, this looks too shitty. It didn't look this shitty.
Man, all right.
It looked like N64 status shitty.
We're going to figure this out. Here's a thing called WCW games for PSX.
I'm going to take a look at 5 different WCW games.
It's got to be one of these. Is this your brother?
Finding wrestling games just as good as the ones on the N64. Unfortunately for PlayStation owners, THQ only put their shitty wrestling games on the PlayStation. But WCW versus the World...
All right, we heard about that one. Let's move on. Oh, wait, this looks like the same thing. Here we go.
Wait, yeah, this looks familiar.
I think it was Nitro then. Let me go back to when he starts. Yeah, this could be it. I liked this game. I'll whatever it says.
No better reason to play it than that.
Yeah, this looks really familiar.
Oh, this is a different game, right?
Now let's take a look at a gaming disaster.
Here we go, Nitro.
WCW Nitro. I remember just playing this game in hopes that it would be something like the N64 wrestling game.
Yeah, this looks super familiar.
Dreadful. And here's the best part of the game.
Technical wrestler, high flyer, brawler. It doesn't matter what you consider yourself to be.
I remember that. They cut promos.
Yeah.
We were actually hit with 3 WCW games in 1997.
Yeah, this looks just like...
Nitro,
that shitty kick
WCW
and punch.
versus the World, and WCW
yeah, I remember the fucking
NWO
life bar,
World.
too. Yeah, this looks just like what I played.
I hate that we talked about this for so fucking long. And it's just this fucking gay game. By the way, there's a picture of me when I had the Justin Bieber long fucking hair.
It might be this. I'll tell you when I get home. What's this called?
WCW Nitro. Now,
okay.
Did you know that I was the biggest geek when I was a wrestling fan in 1997-ish?
Yeah.
I had long bowl cut hair that now people love the Bieber
the
for.
Biebs.
And I have this picture of me where I'm holding this game up and I'm like doing a pose with my other arm on my hip and I'm just starting to get fat and I'm a little kid with the worst shirt on. It's like one of those silky swimming cloth shirts.
God.
Like I'm gonna go. It should be tight. It looks like it's just really loose on my fat body, and I have my shitty hair, and I'm doing like a Popeye with my chin, and I'm so proud to have this game. So I feel like that picture with the confirmation that was the game could really bring this episode together.
It might be that game.
Somebody get that pic. Danny, get that picture for me.
I'll look it up.
That looks similar to the game I remember.
Danny, tell me about this game. Now
why do I remember Shawn Michaels?
We're somehow I don't know. We're somehow going into the future, Danny Richardson. Pitch this. This might be your first big failure yet. Now let's see how it goes.
Do you need me to explain it again, or did we already record that part?
We have that. Oh, now let me cut that part out, though.
You always like the games after you play them, Kevin.
Why would he say that? Why would he say that in the middle of this? Like, are you trying to fuck up my editing?
I like to give you as much work as possible.
Here's a hint. If we didn't, I would have told you. Why the fuck are you fucking with my editing, you fuck? But you think, you're going to laugh, you fucking piece of shit? All right, explain it again. I didn't get that part.
All right, so...
of course I got that part. Now, how are we going to go run with it?
All right, so I'm going to give you a guy, and we're going to figure out where they're going to be. I'm going to start with Michael Cole first.
Okay, so are you going to give me a time as well? As in like 6 months from now? Okay, Michael Cole is an interesting one because he could have messed up his entire broadcasting career with this little storyline they've done. Of course, you can always you can come back from anything. Don't tell Bret Hart that in 98, but you can always recover from any heel or face turn. But
so,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I need you to tell me where we're going with Michael Cole here.
So I think the thing with Michael Cole is, I think we both agree that in some sense this storyline with Lawler's gone on a little too long, that they've dragged it out longer. I mean, I think a lot of people thought this was going to end back in January, maybe February, and then it carried all the way to WrestleMania, and you thought Lawler was going to get the win, and he didn't. Then they went to Extreme Rules, and you thought, okay, well, here's where Lawler goes over, and he didn't. So they're doing another match, and it seems obvious that Lawler will get a win there. But I don't know if that's enough to end the feud because Cole's still up 2-1. And I don't know that stops Cole from being the same Michael Cole. It doesn't make sense to stop the character where it is. So I'm curious, in 3 months, where do you see the Michael Cole storyline being? Like, when does it end? And then what's the payoff that satisfies you?
I definitely see this being the last match. It would have satisfied me if we did Be the Booker and rewrote it. Like, it ends at WrestleMania. That's what any logical mind would do. There's no reason for that to continue. There's a couple of the feuds that kept going that were like that, but this is the main one that should have been over at WrestleMania. For one, it was just such a silly thing to fill WrestleMania time from the start. Like, Jerry Lawler finally has a WrestleMania match. Michael Cole can actually play heel pretty well, so they kind of threw it in there as like a joke match. Now it continues to happen at pay-per-view after pay-per-view. So, for one, this is definitely the last one. Lawler's definitely going to win, no question. They're bringing up all the stops, like he's bringing up his dead mother on Mother's Day. They're trying to make you hate him the most for this loss.
But it's one of those things, like, when you let the bad guy just get over and over and over, how does one victory satisfy that? I mean, he cost Lawler the belt, and that's really, what started it. And that was in December? That's a long time ago. Like, he cost him the championship. I mean, he's insulted him week to week. They've beaten him up, thrown stuff on him. He's beaten him twice in a match. I mean, just all the trash talk, everything goes in it. And I just feel like they've painted themselves into a corner where they've let it go on too long with Cole always coming out on top. And we've addressed how much he can just shit on everybody on the mic and nobody's able to say anything.
Well, I think that'll actually be the outcome. He'll continue to be the heel announcer. But as far as him going over once, That's all you really need in wrestling. It's such a short memory. As long as he squashes him right, no one's going to give a fuck about anything Cole ever did anymore. Oh, he got his. It's like he paid his dues type of thing. Because it's the Kevin Nash theory of booking as well, where he'll have the heel go over and over and over because it makes you want the face to finally either get the belt, get revenge, which is a strange theme for a good guy to have, but to finally get his, and that's definitely it. It's only going to take one squash. But what's with Jack? I feel like Jack Swagger's the one we need to really talk about. What is he going to do in this match as far as this upcoming one? Do you think, how are they going to eliminate him basically and make it believable?
I'm not really sure. Did they just make it, what's the match type? Did he decide on that?
Is it a tag match? I think it's just one-on-one so far.
Yeah, I don't know how you keep Swagger. I mean, that's obviously something that gets built in before the next pay-per-view. This was it Over the Limit?
Yeah, worst.
Every week I forget what the name of it is, and I hate it even more every time.
I feel like jaded wrestling guy where I hate seems like everything we talk about, but pay-per-view names I generally like, and this one, just call it Over the Edge. How many times am I gonna say it? I don't care who the fuck. I don't care what white boy died at your pay-per-view, Mike. You fucking call that what it is. And also, I'm sick of this shit. I'm mad again. I got my wrestling cane at the TV. They're setting up Fatal 4-Way, and every year at this time, they're going to set up another shitty 4-Way. Wrestling has become, wait for WrestleMania, everything else is the same shit as last year. I'm fucking done with it, Danny.
Well, I'm with you. It always used to be... every pay-per-view meant something, especially when it was the big four. There was huge build-up to each one. And now it's all about the road to WrestleMania. And it starts, late December and it goes all the way till, and then it's all about the aftermath of WrestleMania. And everything else in between becomes forgettable.
Stories right now.
Before we get into your house wrestling stories, I know it seems like it was already bad enough when it turned into Raw doesn't matter anymore, SmackDown doesn't matter. The pay-per-view is when the wrestling happens. Now we're getting to the point where the pay-per-views don't matter. It's WrestleMania that has the matches. Like SummerSlam was like a mini WrestleMania. The pay-per-views seemed like a big deal. But now it's going to be like, don't be surprised if there's a lot of disqualification main events and like useless bullshit to push us towards WrestleMania.
So in
away
3 months,
from it,
which is relatively a long time in wrestling terms.
Yeah, definitely. This will be forgotten about, this whole Michael Cole thing.
So I mean, so we're talking like August. You think it's done? Like you think he's still playing the heel character though? Like he doesn't go back to be, because when he's not right now, when he's not shitting on one of the other announcers or there's not a wrestler that he has a reason to favor that's in the ring, he's back to normal Michael Cole. He's calling matches and he's not playing up the heel character, and I like that he's switching back and forth.
He has to switch shows if he's going to try to pull off anything but a heel character. For Lawler and Cole to exist, although, of course, the good guy got his and it's all forgotten, you can't just all of a sudden have them be like, I know, Michael, how about this move? That is what that move... They're always going to be bad and good guy from now on altogether. Who's the SmackDown team? Booker, Michael Cole, and is it Josh Matthews?
Yeah.
And there isn't it the same fucking team on Raw except not Booker?
It has become, because... Cole and Lawler don't even sit next.
This is
of course on Raw the last couple weeks. It's everybody. I mean, there's Jim Ross, there's Booker. Like they just keep rotating him.
It's easy to see him go to SmackDown with Booker. Maybe they keep Josh Matthews, but I don't know what's Jim Ross gonna do. Who really gives a shit? He might just be back to build more heat for Cole, and he's certainly not back to hype up a match because it hasn't happened.
So is that your prediction? Do you predict Cole not being on Raw in 3 months?
I want to take both forks in the road. I think he won't be on Raw, but also if he is, he's definitely still a heel character. But don't you think if he goes to SmackDown, he'll still be the asshole to the good Josh Matthews?
Maybe. I think even more so it's how long can he be a dick to Booker T, who's a guy that should be able to still, beat his ass even more so than
I'm
Lawler,
making a prediction. I've got it. Booker T in 3 months is no longer is wrestling, no longer commentating. Write this down. Do I hear it? Okay. Write it down. Booker T's all right. Michael Cole is on SmackDown.
You got really excited.
Well, I'm finally fucking. Someone here has to make a prediction.
I have a prediction. 3 months from now, Shawn Michaels and Sting.
Fine. Oh my God! How did I not bring this up? You want to see a great Shawn Michaels Sting clip? Sting has a God show. It's about Jesus and God, and Shawn Michaels is his interview guest for an episode, and it's the fucking worst shit. I didn't know Sting was a Jesus freak like our favorite Shawn Michaels is, but it brings it down for me a little bit because I want to see. I liked his jacket. That was it. But now his belief in God. What was that?
Yeah, and that was his whole reasoning. The Jesus thing that's his whole reasoning supposedly for never going to WWF.
Booker T will not become Michael Cole on SmackDown with Josh Matthews. Then on Raw, we have good old JR and Lawler. How's that sound? That's my prediction.
And you think the feud is long enough? Now, and you think Lawler only has this one victory in that time span, or do you think they give him enough to even it up at least?
This is definitely it. How could they even have another match? What,
I
Father's Day?
I didn't think they'd have 3, let alone another one.
JR, it's Father's Day. I have some more pictures of you and your dad standing next to each other. Oh, cool. Awesome. By the way, here's your son. What does he think of Father's Day? And then a silly laugh happens. I need to find this Shawn Michaels and fucking Sting
I've never
bullshit.
seen that clip, the one you're talking about.
Dude,
I knew they did stuff together, but I've never seen it.
I watched it so high, right? I watched the whole thing, and I looked down. It was 19 minutes. I sat there watching these two fucking homo faggots talk about Jesus shit. These two homo faggots talk about Jesus shit.
What a great way. I hope that's in the description of the
video.
How
is that not the title of this episode? Write that down, too, with my predictions. These two homo faggots. People are going to really get what this is about based on this one. Talk about Jesus shit. And
I want that. Just the title. Just abbreviate. Just put these two homo faggots.
There's not even an episode number. These two homo faggots. No caps. No period.
It can be a shirt. It just says that, and it's like me playing like a TV screen. It's those two.
With your just like if only a shirt could nod, then we could get it all to work. Michael, Danny Richardson, Michael Steele. Has anyone called you Michael with your last name on the end?
No.
You could be a good ring announcer with that. I'm thinking, and I should have brought this up way before your bullshit game or your silly racism. I want to be a wrestling commentator or interviewer. Did you see this new fucking old zilch who came out and talked to R-Truth on Raw, Danny Richardson?
He's been on there for a couple weeks. I still don't even know his name though.
He's been on there before. He took my job for one. How? And how does this guy benefit any program? He's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be okay for just backstage stuff, but it's so weird when they slip in a new announcer and there's no acknowledgement that this guy is new.
Man, Michael Cole was the new guy for 8 years. I was waiting for Todd Pettengill to come back and brighten up my superstars, and Michael Cole just never went away.
Well, then Josh Matthews took that place. Oh, remember? And then even The Miz kind of had to do that role. Miz was the interviewer out in the crowd for a while on SmackDown.
There's a great clip of stupid Miz doing like an interview in the back to Ray, and he has like this wide eye, like mouth, like what's gonna happen? Like when I do an impression of you, he looks like how I sound. I hate doing visual. I need to find this. But also, is there any worse new announcer than Kevin Kelly? As soon as you saw me, go get this fat asshole out of here.
I don't even know what happened to him. I don't know anybody that ever liked Kevin Kelly. So it's weird to think that when they brought him in, they were like, yeah, this is going to be a good idea. People are going to love this guy.
He was just like a Todd Pettengill meets Michael Cole meets 30 pounds. Meets me now.
Was it that his commentating was so bad, or was it that his voice was so wrong for the part?
He had the weakest voice. And Jonathan Coachman, the black guy, was also not at all like if he was like Booker, like yo, like doing cool gangster stuff, at least I'd like him for the parody slideshow he is. They try to make me take him seriously.
I think Coach sounds like a black version of Mike Steele.
Why do you let me get away with that and then you say something way worse? And then
I want to hear the coach now.
I can't correct your racism.
All right. Now, do you have another? I'm going to bring up the coach because we need to hear him. But in the meanwhile, I have to ask you: do you have another character for us to discuss?
I do have one. I felt like that was an easy one. So I had one that I wanted to go a little more long term.
All right, here's the coach. Is it the coach? Is it Jonathan Coachman?
Black Mike Steele.
There's a fucking ad at the beginning of the video. Fuck. What the fuck? All right, go ahead. Who's your character?
Are you sure?
Fucking ad at the video. Why is there an ad at the beginning of a Coachman video?
You know how much views Coach gets on YouTube.
Seriously, rub it in a little more, you fucking asshole. Whose side are you on? YouTube's? You fucking derailing. I want to meet you in person to see what face you fucking have to act this way to me.
In a hotel room.
If I could put a face on how you act, I swear to God. Oh, here's Coach. All right, here we go.
Brushing beer.
Oh, he's on Sports Center.
Yeah.
That's right. It opens up tomorrow.
That's The Rock.
Friday. The Tooth Fairy. Yeah, it's good. We made a good one.
This moment sucks.
Thank you.
I don't want to hear The Rock.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is this the ad?
Take care. Talk to you soon.
The fucking ad, just play it anyway.
Well, look who it is.
That's Coach.
It's The Rock.
That's
Oh,
kind
weird.
of
It does sound like me.
If you were black, that's how I think you would sound. It's
First
got
of
that.
all, whoa, don't insult anybody. Now, who's the other character we were going to discuss?
All right. So the other would be somebody that I feel like they put a lot of investment into, and they've been pushing this guy for a long time. Maybe because he's been stuck on SmackDown, but I don't feel like anybody really cares about him. I don't think he's taken off anytime soon, but it's clear they're not giving up on him.
I know.
He just got the switch to Raw.
I know who it is.
Who is it? I feel like we're just going to get into ridiculous house wrestling stories right now. Like, you don't know.
Why do you ask me a question, then you just say that? Like, what is I thought we were going to have conversations together.
Well, you know how I go off on
It's
tangents.
Cody Rhodes, no question. And Cody Rhodes is going to... Who is it?
All right, this one's going to go more long-term. In 1 year, where will Drew McIntyre be?
Drew McIntyre sinks further and further down. For one, Dolph Ziggler cut his hair and now looks exactly like him. So there's redundancies in the Drew McIntyre weight class. He was the character that you would fucking hear the same shit they're saying about Dolph Ziggler now. He's the future. He's definitely going to be WWE champion someday. This guy's got all the potential. They said all that script, which, by the way, my job will be that one day to read that bullshit about some generic asshole. But they did the same script on Ziggler this week, and that's when I knew finally they moved on from McIntyre. I don't think
you think he's no longer the chosen one, the anointed by Vince McMahon guy.
He'll be gone within a year, and also Ted DiBiase will make a comeback.
That's a big prediction. So you're saying not even with the company?
Write it down. Where's the paper? Here we go. Drew McIntyre.
Save that paper for 1 year.
Gone.
Wow, and that's a big one. I think he'll still be there. Because I think they're not going to give up on him. I think it's one of those things where they don't like to admit where they were wrong in a character, and I think they tend to stick with guys way longer than they should.
No, in the same respect, a guy will just disappear, all like Mr. Kennedy. What happened? Oh, no one really knows. Broken wrist.
True.
He's shaking his arms on YouTube. It turns out he dropped Randy Orton. I watched it. He didn't drop him. So no one really knows what happens to some guys. They just end up in TNA as world champion.
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna go the opposite way. Even though I'm with you, I think they should give up on Drew McIntyre. I don't think he's ever gonna make anywhere. I say, within the next year, he has a world title run.
Say that again.
I'm
You
telling
fucking with a straight face this time.
In 1 year, Drew McIntyre will have a world title. I don't know.
Holy shit! That's actually what I just said. And then, can you believe that, Mike? World title run for Drew McIntyre on Raw too. He's on Raw now, where mid-carders go to disappear. No mid-carder comes up on Raw. It's for established stars. So, world title run.
I don't know that it'll be on Raw because I feel like it's going to be one of those. I'm looking at the same as a Jack Swagger thing, where he's going to get like a Money in the Bank opportunity, get it, and then a month later he's dropping it to someone else and they forget about him again.
New prediction. Drew McIntyre will be in a Money in the Bank match because that's his only role. He's the Shelton Benjamin, where they just need to fill in a couple slots. So they bring out that fucking... I almost said the C word.
More like Drew lacking tire.
More like Drew laughing at tire.
Yeah. More like Drew flat tire.
More like...
All right.
You're welcome, Danny.
You win. I cannot think of another one. I was going to say front flat tire, but those are really just flat tires. Danny, throw one out there for us. What do you think of Drew McIntyre's name? Send it over to you, Danny.
I hate it. I don't know. I don't actually hate it. I like
Fanny
it.
McIntyre.
How about Jew McIntyre?
All of those are great variations.
Danny, throw one out before we move on. Throw one out for us.
I don't know. I my audio cut out, so I missed the part where you guys began this conversation.
How about Drew Crapentire? Huh? Throw one out for us, Danny.
I have no idea what game we're playing right now.
Bottom of the pack entire. Huh?
Come on, Danny, throw one out there.
I bet he's terrible in the sack entire.
See,
this is easy.
Exactly, that was what I was gonna take.
No, it wasn't, you liar.
Prove it.
Just throw one out there, seriously.
I don't know which all ones you said. Drew Fagentire?
I didn't use that one, did you?
No, I don't think
All
so.
right, moving on. Perfect.
See?
So
Nailed it.
Where do you think you already told us? I thought you were joking about you. First of all, your shitty fucking pun is fucking ridiculous. Second of all, your world title joke was even worse. So if you want to sit here and bullshit me for what, an hour and a half now, then we'll do that. But at least send me some info up front so I can bring a fucking pillow, huh, Mike?
It's okay.
A wrestling buddy?
So you can sleep through it?
Fucking sleep through this bullshit. Am I right?
Yeah.
Fucking use your bullshit as a blanket.
Oh, God.
The worst. Why are we laughing? Drew Fagentire.
You're talking a lot of smackentire right there.
So that's all Danny has is Drew Fagentire.
I love this
you guys are doing.
I love this fucking guy's name.
And by the way, he calls him Drew Fagentire. Meanwhile, he thinks he's going to win the title. So what do I even take you seriously anymore?
No, you don't. You haven't for a long time.
Well, how about Michael Cole? Let's throw some puns out about Michael. How about Dyke? No, all right, seriously. So Drew McIntyre will be gone within a year, says me, but will be in a Money in the Bank match. You said he's going to be world champion and going to just take off and be the greatest ever.
No, I do not think it'll be good. I think it'll be a Jack Swagger-like title run.
You better throw out a Jack Swagger pun real quick. This is an easy one. Some names are just built. Jack Swagger is perfect in the U.S. title division.
I don't think these are actually puns is the problem.
I think you're right.
No,
they're rhyme. Yeah, they're rhyming. But I like that Jack Swagger had a U.S. title match. That belt's at a fucking shitty point where they gave it back to Kofi Kingston, who, by the way, within a year will be gone, but in a Money in the Bank match. He will also be a TNA world champion within a year, but they gave it back to him. He's like the safe holder where we don't know what we're doing, so give it to the colored guy. And he kind of won me over. And that's how Vince says it. Give that belt to the colored guy. He's fucking fired. Anyways, he never said the F word. I don't know why I throw words in his mouth like that. He never said fuck, so don't quote me on that part.
In a joke about him saying colored guy, you're like, he didn't say fuck.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't say fuck. I went too far. So he's the safe guy. Like, give him this belt because he's eternally mid-carder, and might give it some legitimacy.
Yeah, it's the Shelton Benjamin syndrome. It's that guy that's just always going to float around there. You can give it to him when you need to, and then when you have somebody better, they'll beat him and take it away, and you'll forget about him for a while.
More like Queefston. Remember that one? I tweeted that pun once. I had to tweet that.
That sucks.
That's from fucking show on Twitter. At first I said Kofi Queefston. Then I said Queefston. It's fucking hilarious. It's the funniest shit. Queefy, give that fucking black piece of shit, Queefy Queefston. The fucking belt. He never said the F word, by the way. Vince McMahon is not the type to drop the F bomb. Give that black fucking nigger the fucking belt. He never said fuck.
Easy there.
Jesus.
He never said fuck.
That's the first official in-bomb of the whole fucking show.
I love watching the chat just dwindle down as we talk about me fucking my wall with Vicky Guerrero pictures. And the N-word pops up from Vince's mouth of all places. Jesus Christ. Where do you think he's going to be in a year?
Which person? Jack Swagger? Kofi Kingston? Where are we at?
Jack Swagger is kind of stuck there, I think. Him, Sheamus, the guys that went from world champion to mid-card are going to be there a while. But as far as Queefston, do you think he's going to... Oh, that's awful. Do you think
you have no interest in Kofi, right? Like, you don't think he could ever be anything good?
He kind of turned me around because the way he beat Sheamus with that and again, I hate that he beat him, but the move he beat him with was so impressive, where he got all that height through the table, and then he did it again with just a regular cross body. He made it look like a 5-star frog splash. So it's weird. How was he always doing moves like this and I never saw them, or is he just now starting to be good?
I think he has them. I don't think he uses them as much because maybe even he felt like he was stuck in a lull. Like he just wasn't. You go out there and you just kind of half-ass it because you know it doesn't mean anything. So maybe they're putting a little more into him, so he's going to put a little more effort out.
Isn't it true he didn't know who Macho Man was too? That's why I never liked him. I read something.
Never heard that.
He has like no sense of wrestling history. He just kind of
really.
I want to know. Like he didn't know who Randy Savage was. I think was the story.
I haven't heard that story. That would definitely turn me around on him. I think we both dislike him for a lot of the same reason, that he does the over the top babyface role. He's just always smiling and just kind of goofy in the bright colors and everything.
I can't believe Vince called him the N-word.
Yeah, that's a little
on live podcast radio.
But do you remember back when he was feuding with Randy Orton?
I don't. And I saw that's another clip where he should have been fired because Randy Orton got mad at him. Randy Orton loves to get mad at people in the ring, make it obvious, then they disappear. Somehow, this fucking black guy made it through. He snuck through like the smoke monster. Like he just morphed into this big black smoke monster from Lost and fucking drifted through the cracks. And
see, when they had that feud, I liked him during that time.
I actually like the overly, like, kind of like how I like the purple Cena shirt you got me. I like his silly lime green shirt. I kind of like the tones of black and light green come jumping out with explosions. Was that racist part too? Because I like that. I like his visual, which I pay a lot of attention to when I see him and people like him.
I can't get. Also, I think what hurts is I think the colors come with it. They're trying to make him that he's Jamaican or whatever.
Rasta,
he has no accent.
Does he talk?
He has before, and he talks with zero accent.
I figured he would sound like Booker T's commentary, or like
he sounds like Dolph Ziggler.
He doesn't say playa like Teddy Long. He's not one of those.
No, he's got no style.
Where would Teddy Long be in a year?
Back to being a referee.
Oh, SmackDown's awful. All right. Oh my God. Shawn Michaels runs in to save Sting. Could this be the clip we've been looking for?
No.
Where he belongs.
Why do I click on anything? What? Oh, this music was definitely there when it first happened.
They got a hold of his hair. Look at that.
Holy shit, dude.
Sting is just paralyzed here.
Mike. Is that you?
Does he know what to make? And what is this?
There's got to be 20 of them.
Mike has this like secret wrestling fan life that we're just uncovering.
Look at that. Look at them. What is that? Was this a big setup?
I really think.
What are we watching?
This is some house show from Detroit. I think Shawn Michaels really does come in and save Sting because it's not televised.
A house show from who? Like some independent? Is it the church thing?
Somebody just said better than TNA, so I don't have a clue what this could be.
It's got to be the church thing. There's a lot of there's some religious wrestling companies.
Oh
like Ted
God.
DiBiase did one.
Yeah, he's in this. Are you being serious?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. They like that because they know they can draw an audience in. Like people will be like, "Oh, I like $1 Million Man. I'll watch that." And then you don't realize that you're being preached to, and they're telling good versus evil stories with the Christian values.
Hate wrestling. Maybe white guy wrestling isn't as good as I thought it was.
One that I know my wife and children would not approve of, but it's too far gone. It's too late. So forget it.
It's never too late. No matter what you've done, no matter how far deep you've gone, no matter how dark it is, no matter if you're in the bottom of a hole looking up and there's nobody looking back.
Oh my God.
You can do it.
This guy isn't even talking into the mic and his voice is loud.
Dude, this preacher's great on the mic. Why wasn't he on you guys' list?
Was this in any video game that we've ever played?
And I know you can. There's something inside of you. It's good, Sting.
And don't mess with Hogan. It's just your game all of a sudden.
It's good, Sting. It's in you. I know it is. Come on.
Sting is using the art of wrestling to convert idiots into believing in myths. If I believe in the Sting character, I don't believe in God. It stops at Sting. I might not. This is upsetting. And when Shawn Michaels comes out, he better have a fucking mask on. The devil mask. That'd be awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
So maybe the video game Mike played was made by this church.
Yeah,
company.
I was just having a fevered dream and I was watching this video.
Maybe the church company put out a demo for a wrestling game, see if anybody would buy it. Mike Steele did. Break the chain.
This is the end. He's trying to break the chains away.
Do the right thing, Sting. You can do it.
Oh my god. You want to know how it ends? Okay.
Yeah.
Danny said yeah.
I do. I'm riveted.
Danny's looking up at the clouds right now. Fucking finally. He better say something. Holy shit, he does this behind our back. That's what it feels like. This is what he's doing when we're in. Oh, he fell down. What is that? Him sacrificing himself to the Lord or some bullshit? Oh fuck!
What a shitty video.
Somebody sacrifice him in that ring. Just start fucking take the blade he cuts his forehead with and just hit every. What do they call it? Arteries?
I think he's killed himself, and when he wasn't alive, there's no licensing fees, so they made a video game where he could fight Shawn Michaels.
That's what.
But then they found out he was alive, so they scrubbed all records of that game ever existing.
How
Mike's
great
got the
would it
only
be?
copy.
I want fucking WCW's Kiss singer guy, the demon, to come out and just fucking massacre everyone in this video. Ted DiBiase likes Jesus too.
Yeah, he's big time.
Get that Jesus freak out of here! Sorry, that's what I do for character. I do is it's the Vince McMahon's friend. It's like kind of like Christian, how he's kind of like Edge.
He's Edge's friend.
Vince McMahon's best friend. Vince texted me the other day. I just fucking. I don't know what he says though.
He texted me.
That's his thing. I finally realized my dream. I live in a white neighborhood. He's a rich, racist guy. Get Booker T off SmackDown. This fucking black shit on my TV. I gotta lock my door just to watch SmackDown. Do I sound like him? I sound like the character.
It's exactly how I picture him. Sound.
By the way, his name's White Boy Floyd. He's in Vince's phone as White Boy Floyd. Wait till he gets a load of this. All right, just got a text from Vince. Holy shit! I hope he read it. I waited for his response. Oh, that's some bullshit. Seriously. Worst conversation on the phone. Hey, Vince, we got that black nigger on the commentary.
Jesus.
Because his 6 wives keep calling me after I released them.
Second in bomb.
What about that nigger, Gio?
Third.
I don't know. His family's. His family calls me. This is the best persona. He won't stop calling me. So I had to give him a job. He's the GM. Paul Undertaker.
Oh, I knew it was going to that.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. All right, later, Vince. Later, Floyd. That's the Mike Steele voice character. That's the Mike Steele is laughing character. He can be any persona I've ever created, but he sounds like Mike Steele laughing. Thanks for clearing that up. Anyways, Danny, did you watch Sting Moment of Truth yet?
I started and I probably made 20 to 30 minutes into it. I'm not real sure. I got farther into it than I thought I would when I started watching it. I don't know that I'll ever finish it.
Fucking Pretty Boy Floyd. Is that his name? Pretty Boy Floyd?
White Boy Floyd.
White Boy Floyd. I thought you were talking about the original guy with that name.
This type of racism is not acceptable in the wrestling community to be so vocal. I'm sure in the locker room it's like, get that fucking nigga away from my locker room. Yeah, get him away from his locker. But like when you don't just say it. This is like Randy Orton going out in SmackDown and going, finally there's another white champion, even though Christian was white. Now, Danny, what do you think of Moment of Truth?
It's so hard to watch because it's like a biography.
Oh my god, that was weird. Sorry, go ahead.
but because it's also set in a fictional storyline, there's no accountability to it.
Sting, I want to like him, but everything he does fucking drives me away. When I was little, it was the Crow stuff. Finally, I accepted the Crow stuff. Now, I forgot about him for a decade. I come back. He's up there doing secret Jesus freak shows, and he's putting out silly... I don't know who funds this movie. It must be a church-funded film. Did you get any religious hints from it? I hear it's in there, but I didn't pay much attention while watching.
I haven't yet. I've made it as far as where him and the Ultimate Warrior start teaming up and going on tour together.
Danny Richardson, we have a pay-per-view coming up. No, go ahead. Start moving on. He's in the middle of his point. All right, Danny, great. Ultimate Warrior, good stuff. Now we got a pay-per-view coming up. It's called Over the Limit. Sorry, where were you going with that?
I wasn't going anywhere with it. It's a horrible movie.
Didn't you kind of forget he came up with Ultimate Warrior? Like, isn't that a surprise when you hear it every time?
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much to that movie. I mean, I never heard that outside of there.
Don't bust into one of your silly characters. Just keep with me. Over the Limit's coming up. We made a decision after I destroyed you in our WrestleMania bet that we were going to do every pay-per-view we would make picks. We haven't done it since. So,
I like that. I liked when you guys did the picks.
Because it makes it, like Mike, for example, you might not like wrestling, but if you watch this Over the Limit with me, you'll feel the intensity of my gambling. Like,
yeah,
you
if nothing else, I'll be like, oh, Dan, this is the one where Danny's going to win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we need to... It wasn't going to be a shirt every month because you couldn't afford that probably. It's going to... You like that? Fucking dig.
Gotcha, Danny.
Dig the hole. Put Danny Richardson in it. And
it's because I'm busy making a house payment.
You faggot. What is this? Because I rent? What does that mean? Seriously, though, I was just talking about shirts.
Oh, sorry.
What, do you have a mortgage?
Yeah.
Faggot.
30.
So we, all right, gays, blacks. Somebody get in my way.
You were doing Asian ones earlier, I think, weren't you?
You hated on the Asians because they made the Japanese wrestling.
I fucking I waited for you to finish a point. I remember because I was like, they all look the same. They all look the same. But you were talking. Well, wait, and then I said gook shit. Oh, that was exciting. All right, now what's the Over the Limit card, Danny? Can you bring it up for me?
I can. You want to kill time for like a minute?
Well, I'll be looking for it for a minute. Maybe we can look for it together.
And maybe White Boy Floyd can cut a promo while Danny pulls it up.
How many fucking black people are there? It's Vince. What's the Over the Limit car?
It's the worst impression at this point.
I got Christian face on some. Is that Booker T? They're gonna be there.
I can't think of any other black guys, so I'm continuously calling Booker T the N-word because I cannot.
R-Truth, Mark Henry.
Is that R-Truth? Mark Henry Digger's gonna be there.
That's the whole bit, is saying that word.
It's just somebody's friend.
Oh, I know. That's Vince's friend who thinks he has all the power.
I rewrote the fucking card for you.
It's the fucking white boy card. Because your name's White Boy Floyd?
Yeah. I mean, because your name's White Boy Floyd? Yeah.
Forgot who he's talking.
I like that all their conversations are during their text conversations.
They're so intense. And you wouldn't believe how many times Vince fired him. That's a funny little wrestling joke for you. All right, Danny, all right, I got it. Over the Limit.
Do you want to get into the Over the Limit lineup? Because that's not this weekend.
It's a week away, right? All right, yeah.
We'll have another show before they do the because right now there's only 3 matches set for it.
Oh, shit. Cena versus Miz I Quit isn't going anywhere. Let's make that pick right now.
Cena.
How is Cena ever going to say I quit? Tell me that.
No. Yeah, and if they did, it's definitely not to the Miz.
God, I wish there was a black guy in that match. I have no character who cares about that match right now.
Well, I'll help you with that. The other match, R-Truth and Rey Mysterio.
R-Truth.
Why are you pushing this black fuck? You push him off a ledge with a fucking rope around his neck. Hey, stop leaving voicemails like that. My wife picks him up. Your black wife? No, that was my old wife. I never hear the end of this from you. She's a fucking nigger.
So he's mad at him for his black ex-wife.
Who do I sound like? That's Vince, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
If the referee isn't black, turn the channel. My TV don't have that type of color.
TV ain't that good. Black and white's like the most basic thing on any TV. Fucking, let me tell you something about black and white. Just because someone looks different doesn't mean they're dumber, stupider. They may be more athletic.
You should make these picks, huh?
All I'm saying is that when
Thanks, Mike.
When I'm a delivery driver, I get tipped by one of them and not the other one. I got $6 from one of those people today, and I was shocked and almost made up. Like, it's not like if I got tipped by a bunch of blacks, Michael, over the next few weeks, it's not going to make up for their reputation. It's going to be like, every time I'll go, that's surprising. For 3 straight weeks, this is surprising. And then, one time they stiff me like it's always been. So anyways, Now this is Kevin talking. That was Pretty Boy Floyd, White Boy Floyd. Miz versus Cena. Cena wins.
Should we hold off on the others until then? Because that one's the only given. Well, I guess then there's Lawler Cole. I think we already both agree on that.
Yeah, we got Lawler, and I'm taking Truth against Mysterio.
I'll think on that one. Then we'll see the other card because there's got to be some more matches so we can differ on something.
God, there's not enough black guys on this card right now.
Do we have any TNA talk?
Why am I saying like it's a bad thing? TNA, where will it be in 1 year?
Will it still be around?
It will be, and it's so strange because TNA is in the perfect position to be the hip wrestling thing the alternative people want. Instead, it's the thing people laugh at. Even people who want an alternative don't like it. They're doing the same mistakes that were made 10 years ago by the defunct company, which, by the way...
Weren't you and me watching some shitty TNA match?
Oh, we watched the whole episode together and made fun of it.
With the guy that looks like Dulcim facing the guy who's just got crazy eyes.
Yes. Yeah, that was a terrible match. There's some guy...
Who and who?
It was something Angel.
Fallen Angel.
Oh, Christopher Daniels?
And he lost to that TV champion guy.
You know, Mike.
This is
I
why we
wrestled
don't
on the same show as that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why we don't talk about TNA, because I always go, that one guy with this belt, or does that belt still exist? I don't even know if their championships are there.
I'm just excited you're still watching it from the sounds of it.
Yeah,
I thought you'd kind of given up on it.
I'm trying. I usually turn it off midway through now. It's just not exciting for me. But Danny, before we go, you were a wrestler once. You went to wrestling school.
Oh, yes.
What is the one, what was the most surprising bump you took?
Surprising how? Like surprising bad? Like I didn't know it was going to hurt so bad or?
Exactly. Like, holy shit, people do that one?
I think you don't realize until you do it or you're about ready to do it how hard and scary it is to come off the top rope. Like not jumping off of it and you're going to do something to somebody else, but we did the thing where you stand on, like kind of, 1 foot on the top turnbuckle, 1 foot behind on the middle, and they'd come up and just do the little over the head body slam.
Yeah.
And it's so much higher when you're up there and about ready to go. Because you'll get up there and you'll play around and you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna jump off and clothesline you from here. Or I'm gonna do a double accent. Like that's all fun when you're goofing around, but when somebody tells you that you got to fall from up there, it's really scary. And the first couple times that I got there, I refused to do it. I was like, no, I don't want to do this because I didn't trust the guy that they had me paired up with, and I was just sure this guy was just gonna dump me on my head.
So you're the piece of shit on Tough Enough that stalls the episode, and you're like, they're getting voted off. If not this week, next week.
Yeah, I would have definitely been voted up because I just flat refused. But it was a matter of just I had no trust with some of the guys that we worked with. There was, the majority of them like you knew were cool and you hang out with. But then there was other guys that were just so sloppy and somebody always got hurt.
Did you wrestle the lizard?
I did not, but I've been that guy wrestles here in Sacramento, so I've been trying to find a time when I could go see him.
You better stop that.
I'm gonna go get his autograph.
It's never fun meeting a crack addict. Now, I know there's a back bump. You fall backwards and your arms go out.
That's the basic. Yeah.
Is there a front stomach bump? How do you fall for a pedigree? How do you fall for a bulldog? Like, how do you fall frontwards?
It depends on the move, and I don't think there's really a set thing. It's more about just protecting yourself, but making it look good. But there is no set, like everybody kind of knows the formula for just taking the back bump.
Yeah.
But like if you were gonna take a pedigree, there's no good way to take that. You're just hoping that your face doesn't hit the ground before everything else on you does.
Now I judge the legitimacy.
That's a big word for you.
Of a service based on how hard the referee hits it. In the ring, he's smashing the mat 1, 2, but outside on the cement, it's just like. Now, have you taken a bump on the outside of the ring as well as the inside of the ring?
Kind of. In one of our matches, we did this thing where we wrestled at. I think I told you before. It was at a racetrack. And so they just put the ring out in the center of the field, and they just put chairs around that.
And the cars were just going around.
Yeah, people were just racing.
Whoa! We were the halftime show at a racetrack. These fucking people, stop the ring! Sorry.
So, in the first show we did, a bunch of us didn't have anything, like, they didn't know what to do with it, so we did a 6-man match. It's one of those, like, throwaway matches on WrestleMania where you just do it so everybody gets a spot.
Wait. So your novice wrestling match in the middle of a racing ring was a throwaway match.
Well, in the sense that we were all just put together because it was all the people that were brand new to it.
How do you call out, like in a triple threat match, how do you call out the spot where the third guy gets back involved from outside of the ring? How do those segues happen? Because I know I know a bit about what's happening. I know the talking to, the planning, but the triple threat matches seem very complicated in that usually one guy's out of the ring hurt, but then there are times when they pull off like 3 straight, I guess, what do you call that? There's a name for a set of moves, right?
Power bomb.
Just like a chain.
A chain, I guess? I thought on Tough Enough they said some insider term. I thought I was like a wrestling genius. Whatever. A
suplex?
Sequence.
Sequence, yes. Do they plan all the sequences and fill bullshit in around that? How do you fill up a triple threat match?
I've never, not even like in practice, like when I've never done triple threat, but a lot of times with stuff like that, yeah, the guys would plan their sequence because it's the last thing you want is all 3 guys in there going and because if it's one-on-one, you have one guy trying to call the spots.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want is you come in and you're trying to relay what you want to do to 2 different people at the same time, and then it becomes a mess real quick.
Who calls the spots typically? Who decides is it like a locker room respect thing? Like, he's been here longer, he'll run this match.
Yeah, for when we did it, I don't know if there's a legit thing. I mean, like if there's a general rule, heel or whatever. But when we did it, it was just about kind of more experience and who we trusted. There's just a certain hierarchy automatically, and some guys, even when they came in, they only like did 1 or 2 matches. They automatically were just more trusted. They had better skill. They were more natural at it. So it just became like, okay, well that guy's better than this guy. So you kind of automatically give up. And I never had anybody like insist on, oh, I'm gonna call the spots, and fight over that. It was just, usually you'd be willing to give it. You're like, okay, so do you want to call it?
I'm calling the spots every time. Yeah. I'm more creative.
A lot of what they would do though was because there was so much of it that was already pre-worked out because we had so much time in between shows. You didn't have to, we weren't doing a show every night or every week or anything like that. So it was so easy that when you were in practice and training, you could just work out your match over and over. So you kind of already knew what each person wanted to do and get done.
I have a game for your fucking hack ass.
All right. I bet your game's horrible.
Try to make my laugh. No, we need to do a game where you call out a real spot and I try to say what the move is. Because isn't it always like 1 syllable? But you got to know what it means, like kick head or kick. And then all of a sudden, like there's a suplex, a kick, and 3 elbow drops. Or is it always pretty specific in what you're calling out?
Again, we were pretty amateur in the sense of like, I don't know how they did. We called pretty much what they were.
Give me some examples.
Oh no, we would just call the move. Like you would just like if you would go to lock with a guy and you were gonna throw him into the rope and you would just tell him like you would just say,
throw me into the rope.
He would see the guy that's getting it done calls it, throw me in the rope. Yeah, I guess that would happen.
You would just say clothesline, and then the guy knew that when he came back, he was gonna take a clothesline.
It's time for a pedigree.
What if you're throwing him in the rope? New character. The guy who tries to call out way too many words too fast.
Would that be the best? The guy that tells you every move right before he does it?
All right, now you're throwing me in the rope. Do your call out.
So I would just whisper it to you like as we locked up.
All right, go ahead.
And I would just go clothesline.
Wait, I'm gonna actually go under it. I'm gonna go about.
You took that well.
Thank you. Do it
again. I
again.
expect you to do the flip over sell, but you did that well.
Do it again.
Back body drop.
Wait, what did you say? I'm wait, no, I don't know what's gonna happen. Yelling it in an audience. Oh,
I'm gonna kick out on 2.
Would you say it loud enough for the kids to hear?
No, nobody can ever. It's so easy that like, you can carry full conversations in there. Nobody can hear you, and you would get that a lot. Of like you'd have a guy. You'd.
Hey, did you see my tweet last night? Yeah, it's fucking funny.
And you're just like where you just kneeled over a guy like in a sleeper hole and you're both saying that, and the ref would just kneel down and be like, okay, we got about 3 minutes, so you guys need to
Holy
take it home.
Shit, I hate the refs like you get mad at the ref for being a part of it. The other 2 guys, it's okay, but this ref you kind of trust. Do you think Twitter is going to revolutionize calling out moves?
No.
All right.
Let's see how that changes.
Simple question.
I'm going to clothesline the ref.
Wait, what are you going to do? It's always running into the rope. So, when's your favorite time to call out a move? Like
the guys in the ring know when it was time to end the match.
Holy shit!
And it was the ref's job to watch for the signal, and then the ref would tell the wrestlers like take it home or whatever, and then they would know to wrap it up.
You totally just cut out and came back in mid-sentence, but it was great. That was very informative still. We missed half, but when is your least favorite time to call it a move when you're like, people are going to see my mouth move?
Outside the ring, when you're right up next to people, and you've got it, because most of the time then you just avoid it. You're like, because it's just brawling at that point, so you don't really worry about it too much.
What would you say if you're gonna pick them up and drop them on the metal barrier outside the ring?
I don't think you'd have to say anything. You could that's probably something simple enough you could just do.
You could apologize. I'm sorry for what's about to happen.
What happens if I go, oh, am I gonna go down? What's the move? You pick me up.
You asked me about the bump on the outside.
Yeah.
So we had the spot set up in the 6-man tag. It was like elimination style. And me and this other guy, this is the part where everybody's just kind of brawling all over. Me and this other guy were on the outside of the ring, and we had a spot set up where he would get the table out, and he pulls out from the ring, and he's gonna slam me through the table. Just a simple like body slam through the table. And that would keep me out of the way for a while. So the immediate part...
Get him out of the way! Get him out of the way for a little while!
That's not the voice at all. The fuck?
The first like 2.5 feet outside of the ring, like the perimeter is just straight up cement, and we had no pads. But then right after that, it turned into grass. And then like a little bit after that was where the chairs were and stuff. So
I feel like
the
Rick's
guy
gonna
gets
get
the
the
table
ridiculous
out,
house
and
wrestling stories right now. Like,
I love how you just keep talking. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a radio
I feel like
show.
Rick's gonna get
I didn't know if you
ridiculous
wanted me to
house
sit in
wrestling stories right
silence
now,
or
like-
answer your question.
It's only funny to me.
I'm interested in the story.
I'm sorry. So there's a brawl happening. The ref said there's 3 minutes left. What happened?
None of that's true.
No, I was listening. Go ahead.
So the guy pulls the table out, and it's just me and him.
Holy
And thank
shit!
God-
A table?
A table. See what happens when you tune back in?
I didn't know there was a table.
And he sets the table up on the grass part instead of like the obvious on the cement where it was gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's puss.
But I was glad he did it. I was like, we didn't plan that part ahead of time. Like I didn't know. Like we didn't think about there being cement around the ring. And a guy from the crowd yells, "Put it on the cement, you pussy!" And it just killed. It just sucked all the way in because then I was like, man, we're gonna do this really cool table spot, and it looks like shit now. But we just went ahead and did it. And we did it like on the grass.
But doesn't that not hurt because you're going through a table anyway? Wouldn't the table break your fall from the cement? And
this was the very first time I had ever done a table spot, and I was very concerned about the back of my head.
You gotta man up
on the cement.
You gonna be a wrestler and you're afraid of the easiest spot possible?
I'd never done one before, so I had no idea what it was gonna be. We didn't even know if the table would break.
Do you tell I'm going to get a table? Do you say that?
You grabbed a table, like.
Well, the other guy did.
Someone was sitting there doing a raffle.
Did
You're like,
he
I
tell
guess
you?
we'll use this table.
Was he like, I'm gonna grab a table?
I don't remember. I know the spot.
I'm gonna
was
grab a table. I'd be like, me too. I'd go get another table, and then we'd have to be like, this is weird. Now what? We had 2 tables. I'm gonna stack this one on yours across the ring. I don't know how to talk in the middle of the ring yet. That's exciting though.
You should work on that.
Hey, let's go through a match real quick. Just a verbal match. I think I picked it up pretty well. No bits. All right, so I'm calling the spots, by the way. Grapple.
All right.
You in the grapple with me?
Yeah, I'm in the grapple.
Man, these kids are loving this shit. All right, clothesline of the ropes.
Wait, me or you?
All right, you're down. Okay. I got the headlock. Man, I'm really winded right now. All right, sequence 1.
Yeah, we're back on board. Yeah.
Into the turnbuckle. All right, you totally are the worst wrestler I've ever been in the ring with.
Sorry, I was just following your lead.
Well, I said sequence 1. By the way, this is all still happening. I said sequence 1, and you're out of the ring now, and I'm standing here looking down at you, yelling.
I can see him talking. I can see Ivan Cage talking.
Sequence 1 is where I go out of the ring and I look for weapons.
How do you call your finisher? Primetime DDT.
No, because whenever they tell you to take it home, you had an ending already done, so you would just go through the motions of whatever you planned to end it with.
Is there anything particularly hard to call out?
No, not that I recall. Nothing really. I don't know why. I mean, like, what do you have in mind? Like, why? Why do you think one thing would be hard to?
It really seems complicated to me. Because I would want to call out chunks, but I guess you just have to really rehearse these sequences, huh? Now, but like for example, all right, clothesline into the ropes. How do you say you're coming back with an elbow and stay down? Or why don't they get back up for a second clothesline? How do they know when to stay down and get up? Do you slap the leg?
Like, what do you mean? Like, how do they know, like, how long to sell it? Like, how long to be hurt?
Yes, thank you.
It would differ. I mean, it's really hard to say because you're in different parts of the match. And then if you're in control and you knock me down, I'm probably going to stay down until you're going to go do your move. Like, you're not just going to stand there and wait for me to get up. So, I mean, if the match has been going on for a while, I'm probably pretty hurt. So I'm going to stay there, and you're still in control. I'm going to let you do your thing. You're going to pick me up, and we're going to move to the thing until somebody calls for a reversal.
This is
a spot that we plan.
Now there's a reversal. So when you're doing chain wrestling, like I watched a great match between Steven Regal and Goldberg, where Regal, they basically said, hey, go out there and make him look good. He took that as put on a carny match where you chain wrestle. Meanwhile, Goldberg's been fucking going through people all the way. They didn't even start counting yet. It was kind of early in his career. Regal is bringing him to the mat, legitimately wrestling for 8 minutes in what should have been like a 3-minute squash match. Now, obviously, there's a very green guy in Goldberg who doesn't know these moves. How is Regal be effectively... I almost want to bring this... Want to do a commentary of this with me real quick? We'll put up the video, and it'll be in your YouTube video.
I mean, I'm sure I've seen this, but I haven't seen it since.
All right, let me send you the link. And for the podcast, I won't bother editing any of this discussion out. It's at the end. If you made it this far, I think you like what you're hearing, so you can hear the flaws. Let me send you the link through our discussion machine, which is what I call the computer.
Oh.
Now, Mike Steele, what do you know about Goldberg?
I know that at the time I couldn't tell the difference between him and
Steven Regal.
Stone Cold. I knew Stone Cold looked like more of a redneck, and Goldberg was like he never had a shirt on.
Now, Danny Richardson, apparently, this is called shoot wrestling. Now, do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
oh Danny.
Danny.
Yes.
Okay, now what is shoot wrestling? Is that a submission technique where you just kind of, it's like a shoot where you're cutting a shoot with a promo where you're just doing your own thing and they have to keep up?
It's pretty much the same term that you would use for the promo part. Like it just means because you could shoot in on somebody and it's almost like an MMA term. Like you could shoot in on somebody and that's you're going to take them down. And it's one of those things like you pretty much have your way with them and there's nothing they can do about it. Like if I dive in at your legs and I take you down and then I, roll around onto your back and everything, I'm just shoot wrestling. There's not a lot you can do that's not going to make this look really weird and shitty. Like you're just you kind of have to take it at that point unless you're going to turn around and shoot back and then we're going to get into it.
This is probably Goldberg's greatest match. And it's the only one I've ever seen that has a story.
I thought you guys hated this guy.
I hate him, and that's why this is great, because the guy he's facing is an overweight, carny wrestler at the time. They found him at a carnival, I guess is his backstory. He'd wrestle freaks, and he'd shoot wrestle people from the audience, bigger guys, and kind of make them look bad. Like
his best friend was a bear.
Now, Dan, Mike, you're not a wrestling fan. That's important. So this is big for you. This is kind of a lesson. Keep in mind that we're talking about calling out moves and stuff like that. We need to pinpoint when it's happening in what Goldberg, look, he's screaming. He's the monster of the time, the unbeatable guy. He's obviously not calling these out. So he's not running the match. Regal is. Yeah. But how is Regal getting it? Now, Goldberg tries to resist one, and it's really awkward looking. All right, let's hit play. You have it up?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Undefeated, unblemished, and absolutely
look at this. He's the greatest, undefeated.
Undefeated, unblemished.
And listen to just the song of Steven Regal. Right away, you know something is wrong.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I've never liked Regal until I saw this. Even in WWE, he slimmed down a little bit, but he was still never an impressive in-ring guy for me. And again, wrestling fans are going to hate that I said that. This is like, Danny.
He's talking shit to people.
Isn't Steven Regal considered one of the best in-ring guys?
Yeah, he was one of the first internet darlings at one point. Where, you put him on that level with Benoit, where the internet for some reason just loved them.
Yeah, they were the.
I don't think he holds that same stature anymore. People don't see him the same way.
See, that's strange. I think it's held up. And again, the internet darling's great because he was him and Benoit were the he looks like me guys. Oh, that's a fat guy and a skinny guy. Then one took steroids and died, and the other one kind of slimmed up, and no one liked him anymore.
His name's Bill?
Bill Goldberg. stinks, Danny Richardson.
Bill
And
Goldberg?
Mike Stale, have you heard my Goldberg rants?
Yeah.
I hate these characters that march to the ring and go through people. That's why this match is so great to me.
No, but you love Karma.
Karma, because that's a woman, and that woman's division deserves every stomping they get.
Yeah, it's like nobody in the women's division is going to come out looking worse.
Right.
But where everybody that went in the ring with Goldberg came out looking worse.
All right, now watch this. All right, now what's he saying here?
Oh, I don't have a clue.
How did he call that out?
Look, that was a missed kick. It looks like he's really trying to kick him there.
Yeah, I heard he works really stiff, and he's kind of just doing his own thing against the superstar of the company. Or future superstar.
And if you saw there, like it looked like Regal was tapping on his arm. It seems like he's having a real hard time getting Goldberg to do what he wants. Like,
that looked super unnatural.
He tried to give me this arm.
And that's what I read. I think it was Shawn Michaels' book, where it's the only book I ever read, so it must have been. He said Goldberg is the hardest guy to move around in the ring.
It looks like it. It looks like amateur backyard stuff. Like it looks super rehearsed.
But it isn't. That's the thing. It's a surprise to Goldberg, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a thing where Regal went in thinking like, I don't know. There's a certain, that's the old school mentality where you're gonna beat respect into guys, and it looks like he's trying to. And I really don't remember this match this way, but it looks like he's just trying to.
No one
force him
does.
to do stuff.
See, I hate that mentality. I'm going to show the young kids how it is, but I love it here because Goldberg needs this shit. Mister, I won't have more than a 2-minute match with Jericho because it's not believable. Fuck you.
Like Hogan always tells a story that when he first auditioned for wrestling, they broke his leg on purpose, and like he tells it with pride. And I'm like, wow, like what? Those are such shitty people. Why would you go back to that place? Like that's not okay.
Well, that story doubles as an excuse for every match he's ever had. So I just couldn't do that because I broke my leg in my first match. By the way, brother and dude, now you like me, right? I said that.
Have you caught how bad the selling is there with Goldberg?
It's great. I love how bad it is.
Tapped him on the face, and Goldberg didn't know what to do to kill time, so he just stood there acting like he had been punched or poked in the eye.
Look, no one's ever treated Goldberg like this now unless they had a taser. Even The Rock got squashed by Goldberg.
That was forced. Goldberg did not go along with that takeover there.
Do you think he's like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
Is there any talking here? There has to be.
I can't imagine there would be.
Yeah, he's talking to a guy's dick.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he wants his
nice microphone, right?
Yeah.
Mushrooms, microphones, all funny dick references.
Yeah, dick looks like a mic.
But how could you do this without talking? Because apparently this is make him look good, Steven Regal. He misheard it and did this. So where's the resistance from Goldberg on a lot of this? I think there is, obviously right here. It looks kind of weird, but wouldn't it be more blatant?
It would depend on how serious Regal wants to be. I think that because a lot of the stuff is pretty blatant. Like now that when you're going back and watching, if you were just watching this and for the first time, you'd probably just think they were both fucking up in the ring. It looks like they're just missing all their spots.
Maybe I don't know what good in-ring action is because I think this is a legitimately enjoyable match even from someone who didn't know. Like I would watch this and go, "Wow, Goldberg actually had a good match." I wouldn't think these two are just stumbling over each other.
But even like right there, where like Regal had him by the ankle and Goldberg just kind of awkwardly falls. There's a lot of botched spots in there, and it's so many that either Goldberg was really messing up or Regal was trying to get him to do stuff that he didn't want to do.
And that's definitely going to be it. Look at it. It kind of abruptly ends at it might be now or a spot. Look at that. That was weird.
Yeah, see, there's another fuck up.
I bet he called out a spear right there and Regal turned around.
It looked like he was going to go for the spear and Regal just was like, no fucking way.
And the spear is seriously seconds away. And was that them redoing that spot like Regal overrode it?
Went for his knee again.
He's kneeing him in the face. No, this is why we wrestle.
Look at that. See, there's another.
That's the one
Regal
part.
didn't want to go along with it.
What an interesting thing to watch. Mike, how are you Mike, you're not a wrestling fan. Is this interesting for you?
Did you see that? He went into a shoulder block.
I don't know. It just seems very...
Here's the end, basically.
It just doesn't... obviously, it's never going to look super real, but...
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I can see what you guys are saying about this Goldberg dude.
Look at that. He's hitting him right in the face.
Just feeling fake. He seems stiff and fake.
What do you think of Regal?
It sucks to have to root for that shitty guy.
He gets skinnier. And then there it is. So now Regal at this point can't override any more spots or call out anything else but the end because the spear means jackhammer.
Yeah, he's got to sell that part and go along with it. Regal even fucked that up.
Yeah, he went right down like it was a suplex.
Instead of the jackhammer, yeah, Regal turned it into a suplex.
Look at Goldberg like, look, I squashed him. I'm the best ever.
Why does that guy have such a weird back?
It's weird. His ankles are the smallest, his shoulders are the biggest, and somehow it's a weird mismatch of body in between.
What a weird-looking gentleman.
He's Jewish, you know.
By the way, he's Mr. Wrestling, should have heroes and villains, and that's why I don't wrestle anymore. But it's always these fucking really intense weirdos in the ring that act like there's a hero and villain thing happening. Look, I'm a superhero. I'm supposed to kill everybody.
Yeah, they buy their hype. They believe they're their character, and at a certain point, like they feel like they have a responsibility to the kids watching, and they could never turn heel because they would disappoint the kids, and it's important that their character always wins.
Hopefully that's the last time we do a video commentary in podcast form. Mike Steele, look at you. Thank you for coming.
I hope I didn't derail things too
No,
badly.
not at all. I want to know what this game is, although I think we narrowed it down, but I need your confirmation. Once I hear your voice say what it is, I'll believe it. Mm-hmm. I never had a wrestling game. It was White Boy
It was
Floyd.
Bloody Roar.
Now, Danny Richardson, every week on The Whole Fucking Show, thewholefuckingshow.info, fucking show on Twitter, fucking show podcast on YouTube, The Whole Fucking Show on Facebook. We like to talk and, have fun, but then at the end, after the racism, after the great characters.
He does this thing, right?
Yeah, Danny loves to take a needle and inject a little bit of wisdom at the end. He likes to take us out. Mike Steele, take us to Danny to take us out.
Danny, at the end of the show, you like to do this thing where you just take us out. Danny, please do your thing.
I'm Danny Richardson. I'm Primetime. I'm the real-life Macaulay Culkin. And tonight I will be staying up waiting for Mike Steele's text to tell me what wrestling game that he imaginarily played with. And I'm the guy that's predicting a world title run for Drew McIntyre. 1 year, mark it down.
I swear to God, every time it's like he has to take a shot at me. It's always like, I'm Danny, fuck him, and we're out.
That's next week's outro.
I think Danny's on McIntyre.
I think Danny needs to rethink a lot of things before next week.
I'm rethinking a few.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Is this the fun racist Easter egg at the end of the show?
I'm not doing that, Mike, and I'm not stealing your moment, Danny. Now take us out.
I got nothing. We already did it.
Every time it's like, hey, I'm gonna take us out. Hey, take us out. I got nothing. Fuck you, and we're out. It's always fuck me in the end. With a big black dick. It's always fuck me with a big black cock, isn't it? Every time. Hey, it was the whole fucking show.